All right, welcome to, actually not the Tuesday show, it's on Monday, but it's not even really the Monday show. It's a special show where we're going to talk all about EVO 2018. My name's Ultra David.
And I'm James Chen. How's everybody going?
So as I said, it's all going to be about EVO 2018, which is this coming weekend, of course.
It's pretty crazy already.
Look, I feel like every year we talk about how EVO gets sooner and sooner, and this year it's actually later.
Right,
in the
and
year,
it still feels
like it's sooner.
I found the perfect way to describe it is that EVO is the New Year's of the FGC.
Okay.
Because every year you're like, wow, is it already 2019? You know, so
we're a little older than many of you folks watching.
I know.
All right, so
so basically,
the years start to fly by.
Yeah, exactly. So, but yeah, this is obviously the big one, EVO. I mean, look. Most people in this chat and people watching this probably know what EVO is, but, you know, just in case you guys don't know what EVO is, it pretty much is the biggest fighting game tournament. It might be the largest open gaming event in the world. You know, in terms of everybody who's in the tournament entered that one weekend, and they're all
talk about
playing.
The numbers in a bit, it's huge.
And it's been, how many years has it been already? So the first EVO was in 2002.
Yeah.
So it's been 16 years already for...
That's what we're talking about. We're getting a little up there in years
And
now.
even in 2001 was B5 and 2000 was B4. So it started as B3, which was a Alt Games SF2 news group gathering in 19-something, like 1816.
Back in the 1900s, you understand?
In 1816 or something like that, the War of 1812 had just ended.
Look, I want to 1900s sounds old enough.
Yeah, I know. It really does.
So that was a long time ago now.
Yeah, that was 1994 B3 took place. And then in the year 2000 was B5. They continued that inside jokes.
Wow.
Yeah, it was an inside joke. It was like B4, B5, and then finally the people running EVO, which of course are Tom Cannon, Tony Cannon, Joey Cuellar, and Seth Killian, decided at the time, let's not do this, and they changed the name to Evolution. And so Evolution was the first one in 2002, which took place at UCLA, and then it went to like Cal Poly Pomona for a couple of years, and then finally in 2005 it journeyed over to Vegas to the Green Valley Ranch, I believe, and then from there it jumped from casino to casino, and for the past few years now we're at the Mandalay Bay. It went from big finals ballroom to now the giant stadium, and
third year there.
Yeah, and it's
by the way, I'm pretty sure it was 96. I don't know. You're the expert.
No, you're right. It was 96. Well, so
I wasn't around at the time, but
okay, it might have been 96.
I think anyway, this stuff's been going on for a long time. As you said, though, it is much, much bigger. I mean, it's been obvious to watch, but every year we've been there has been way, way bigger. I didn't go to many of those years in the zeros because I was having to go back to school at around the same time the EVO happened. It was always in August back then, and that's when I was going back to school across the country. So I couldn't go for a good chunk of time. But when I went in 2004, and then when I went again in either 2010, because 2009 I was taking the bar.
Oh, dang, you had skipped all those years.
There was a big break in there for me.
Okay.
Giant difference. Like, those 6 years were, in between that was Street Fighter 4, and it was gigantically different.
Yeah.
You know, and since then it's even still been much, much bigger.
I mean, I've said this, like two parts about this that amaze me, right? So if you talk to me back in the Cal Poly Pomona days, where we were just on a college campus and a bunch of dudes in a ballroom,
I went to
that we were going to be in the Mandalay Bay in like 2016, I would have just been like, what the hell are you talking about? And if you told me it was going to happen through purely grassroots means, like literally, it's just these guys it's the same guys who've been running it since the beginning. Like I would have just been like, "There's no way, like impossible."
I hear you. No, it's been quite a development, and that's continuing. So there are actually more competitors this year, more attendees this year. 7,437 competitors versus 6,812 last year. There are 10,541 attendees versus 8,964 last year.
Yeah, 10,000
so it's
spectators.
Still growing a lot.
And what's even crazier about that too is that they've run maximum 9 games. You know, it's always around 7, 8, 9 games a year. When we first hit our first over 1,000 competitors in an event, it was like, holy crap, where are we right now? We're in fantasy world.
For sure.
6 out of the 8 games this year are at 1,000 competitors or more, ranging from a game that is was not even out when registration started to a game that has existed and has been being played for like 15 years now, right? So
I mean, even when it comes to the side tournament, the biggest side tournament entries game under Night and Birth, EXE latest, 209. Which by itself would have been the biggest of the year back in the day.
Dude, when we got like 200 to 300 people in MVC2, like at EVO 2002 or something like that, I don't even remember if it was that many. Yeah. But like we were just like, we were like, oh my God.
Yeah, man, it's been pretty crazy. So it's of course going to be at the Mandalay Bay. The streams will be, there's a bunch. It's all EVO 1, EVO 2, EVO through 7. Yeah. And then Capcom Fighters has the Street Fighter stuff.
Yeah.
But rather than telling you what every game is on, which one of those channels and when, there have been really good tweets put out and info put out. Just go to shoryuken.com or follow at Evo, EVO on Twitter, and you can see exactly what's going on for yourself.
And just as a general FGC advice, follow Ace King Offsuit on Twitter as well. He always puts out a bunch of great graphics that also has the time zone changes listed at the bottom to help people really know what time things are supposed to be scheduled to start. So.
I also want to plug some nice breakdowns of some of the tournaments going on on Twitter, SRK Ranking, SRK Stats, where they have done a good job, I think, of pointing out some of the most interesting pools. You can look that up for Tekken, Dragon Ball, Street Fighter, Injustice, and Guilty Gear. It will point out pools that have like multiple top-level players and kind of break it down in interesting ways. So that's the thing. I mean, we're going to have guests on to talk about each of the games, but in case you want extra info, there's a lot to be had. There's really good sort of little cottage industry growing up of statistics like that.
And I see somebody in the chat asking about the jump off. So the jump off last year was like an extra stream at EVO where they had 4 analysts at the time. Sajam was mostly hosting most of those, and they would just watch all the different games. And they had 4 people, experts across multiple games, and they would just talk about through all the whatever games that they were fed. Like, oh, here's an awesome Tekken match. Oh wait, this was awesome that happened in Injustice. Here, watch this. Like, oh my God, this person got said. So it was kind of like the side stream, but this year it's probably going to be the premiere stream.
It's on the main stream. It's twitch.tv/evo is the main stream, and that is most of the time on Friday until you get to some exhibitions at the end of the night. It's the beginning of the day on Saturday until you get to the top 8s for Injustice and BB Tag and Smash, and then Sunday is going to be all on just Evo. But yeah, there's going to be a lot of jump off. It'll be on Evo 6 after that.
Okay.
Bunch of stuff.
And they did announce that the commentators that are going to be there, so I can actually say now that I will be on the jump off, a lot of it.
Okay, cool.
So my last year of playing every fighting game hopefully will come to pay off here.
I like it. I think that's really cool.
I'm super excited for this. I can't wait to talk about Smash, Injustice, Tekken, Guilty Gear, BlazBlue. I can't wait to talk about everything. So I'm really super happy about
awesome,
that.
That's awesome. Man. Okay, cool. I guess. I mean, typically at Evo they don't want to say or even let you know what you like, whether you're doing top 8s for a certain game or not. So I'm not going to bother you about that.
Well, actually, they haven't even announced that officially.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, they haven't announced that.
Yeah,
I know that typically the rules are that you either don't find out or they don't want you to say.
I'm not even sure anybody knows.
I'm not surprised at all. That's typically how it goes. I'm not going to be there. I will be at a wedding instead across the country. It is the first Evo that I'll have missed since 2010, so it does feel weird. It feels super weird, I gotta tell you. And as the info has been coming out about who's commentating and stuff, and like I'm not involved, there's a weird feeling to it. But
dude, I was talking to someone else just recently. I was like, "Hey, you want to meet David? I'll introduce him to you at Evo." And I was like, "Dang it!"
I've been getting these emails today from very nice, well-meaning people who I appreciate, by the way, asking if everything's okay. Like, is my family okay? Like, I'm just going to a wedding. It happens to be an obviously very unfortunate time, but that's important to do.
Yeah.
I am, though, to be honest, very much looking forward to the stream viewer experience of Evo, because I've never had it. I've never had it. The very first year that Evo was streamed was
was basically 2010, right?
I want to say there was like a jank stream in 2009.
Yeah,
but which I did watch, but that was kind of not
that
even...
was on like Justin TV.
I think it was before that, honestly. I think it was something
Ustream.
else.
It was Ustream. Yeah. And in fact, I still remember those years when we first had the stream. Tom Cannon was specifically like, no, we never stop the tournament for the stream. The tournament is more important than the stream. And nowadays it's like, no, the stream is pretty important.
A little different.
The stream is pretty important.
Yeah.
You know?
So I'm looking forward to seeing how that is. I feel like that's it's something that I just have. It's not that I've never thought of it, but I've never experienced it. Certainly, I often go back after Evo and watch a lot of the archives just because I want to see what I missed while I was commentating other stuff. But this is going to be different. I'll be watching it live a lot of the time. So, although I'm bummed that I can't be there, I am actually excited to be able to do that and see how it goes.
Cool. Nice.
So, as we said before, we're going to have guests come on to talk about a bunch of different games, all of the main Evo games we're going to talk about. We're also going to have people on to talk about the Marvel side tournament and also the Under Night side tournament.
Right, because those are two of the bigger side tournaments, and some really interesting stories, especially given the Pasadena regionals this past weekend. But we'll let Persia talk about that when she's on. So,
is there anything else that you want to say? Oh, I did want to bring up that just Evo itself is not the only thing, not just the competition.
That's
There's going to be some developers are going to be showing stuff there.
Dude, last year there were so many announcements and shockers too.
Obviously I don't know what the announcements are going to be, but you got to think that there's going to be announcements. Everybody's talking about G probably being announced for Street Fighter. That's seems likely given their history.
I keep setting myself up for failure because I'm like, man, Capcom since last year Abigail was kind of meh. Like this year, what if they announced G and Sagat?
Oh my god!
But see, I'm setting myself up for failure.
I would not.
It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Yeah, exactly.
I would not expect it. But I'm sure there will be something interesting announced. And on top of that, there's also going to be other stuff going on. Part of which was this public?
They announced that the Twin Galaxies thing. I think I'm not sure.
I believe they did, but he's involved in it anyway.
Okay.
There's going to be a cool set of exhibitions done by Twin Galaxies.
I saw one exhibition announced.
I mean, there's some really cool ones. Sonic Fox versus Goichi in Dragon Ball. Tokido versus Infiltration in Street Fighter. There's going to be a Fight of Legends. Alex Valle, John Choi, both going to be doing it, casted by James Chen. and Sajam. There's going to be JDCR versus Saint. There'll be a coastal rivalry, East versus West, in Marvel 2.
Dude, I'm so excited for this.
Marvel 2. That's going to have Neo versus Executioner.
Keep in mind, Neo is still undefeated in first to 10 exhibitions in MVC2, and Executioner has been botting a lot of the new people coming in.
He's playing the game.
Oh, yeah.
He plays. New York plays that game.
Oh, yeah.
There's also going to be Justin Wong versus Sanford Kelly versus Yipes, again in Marvel 2. There's going to be Armada versus Mango in Melee. There's going to be Marvel versus Capcom 3 Clash, Filipino Champ versus Chris G. And all of those have fantastic commentators. So that is a super cool event that will be on Saturday night. There's also going to be an official Evo after party. It's done by the Cross Counter folks, Gutex, etc. Yeah,
I mean, last year they had the after party where they had the East Coast, West Coast, where everyone in the West Coast was like, okay, we're going to get bodied. And then, I think it was SD Pinoy, came through and just took everybody out in Street Fighter V. So that was a really exciting event. So,
by the way, the Twin Galaxies thing will be on twitch.tv/Twin Galaxies Live.
Okay. And it's going to be taking place at the esports arena. So
sick, which is very close, right?
Isn't because it's connected to the Luxor.
At Luxor. Yeah. Across the street from the Mandalay Bay.
Essentially,
sick.
Yeah.
Cool, man. Anything else to say about Evo as a way of intro?
Just again, for those people who are unaware, Evo is one of the biggest esports events of the year, if not the biggest. Well, for us it is, of course, obviously, but it's always one of the big ones, and a lot of people, they only tune into one fighting game event a year, and this is the one that they tune into.
Yeah,
so
man.
This is going to be every year there's always craziness, and all I want to say is, again, I keep stealing other people's quotes, right? And they keep attributing it to me, and it's not my quote, but Seth Killian said a long time ago, he's like, you just build the stage, and you let exactly, right? You just set the stage, and you let the magic happen. If you just set it up, the stories write themselves, and that's what Evo does every single year. So
I'm sure it'll be great.
Yeah.
So we're gonna start off with Guilty Gear.
All right. Let's see if
and
we can...
for that, we'll have MajinObama. So what we're going to do in general is talk about the games for about 15 minutes. We don't want this to go on until tomorrow morning for us.
Yeah.
We're hoping to keep it to about 15 minutes.
Some people have said...
We've already actually gone over time for what we were intending here.
Some people have actually said this is actually a legit Tuesday show for them, finally.
Oh my God, yeah, that's true. That's true. Actually, probably for most of the world.
Okay.
Definitely for most of the world.
Yep.
That is true. But the order that we're going to do it in mostly is the order of the finals of the games themselves. So the first one coming up is Injustice. That's the first finals, right? Then BB Tag, then Smash 4, etc. There are some deviations because, for example, MajinObama has to get to work today in Japan, where he lives. Yes. So for him, we need to make this happen first.
Right.
And then we're going to have Marvel at one of the endpoints because Persia is going to be getting home from something else, and we want to talk with her about Marvel later on.
So go ahead, slide on a little bit over here, David, because I am going to throw up the picture of MajinObama. And then hang on a second. Let me also do some more work over here. I'm going to be doing things on the fly here as I normally do. And
sounds
boom,
good.
There you go.
So we're going to get MajinObama for Gear. Oh, is he on?
Are you on right now?
Yeah, what's going on, guys?
Hey, there you go. Okay. What's up, Majin? How you doing?
Feeling good. The clarification. Today, since it's Tuesday for me,
yes,
I don't have work, but let me shamelessly promote Fighting Tuesday on twitch.tv/AnimeIlluminati. You can watch it every Tuesday. It's one of the biggest weekly gatherings in the world where you can watch Tekken and Dragon Ball Fighters in Tokyo from one of the coolest venues in Asia. I have to go set up for that in a little while, so that's why.
That sounds like work.
It's Tuesday.
Yeah.
It is, but I mean, it's the best kind of work, right? It's a lot
like of course. A lot
like doing, you guys know what I'm talking about. Like this commentary stuff, event organization. It's a labor of love. It always is very stressful going into it, and when you're doing it live, but afterwards, it's always the best kind of post work feeling.
Right.
It never really feels like work after.
For sure.
So I guess let me make this short since you guys got a lot to talk about. There's a lot to be excited about this year. I'm glad you guys brought up the Under Night In-Birth. It's not even a main game, but I think it's really important to point out, especially with that game, over 200 entrants.
Yes.
That is straight up one of the largest tournaments for that game, period.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about North America. I'm not talking about this region. I'm talking about in the world, period.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, even in Japan, that's probably one of the biggest open bracket tournaments for that game that has ever been had for.
Nice. Okay. And by the way, Majin, don't get too emotional here. You're gonna get us crying before Evo started, dude. So
James, not gonna lie to you, man. I have no idea what you're talking about. I have never cried on stream. You will never find video proof of me crying.
Yeah, me neither. If you've never cried on stream, I've never cried on stream.
It's the glaucoma.
It's a hereditary. It affects millions.
I understand, man.
Watch yourselves,
Oh, yes, that's right. Okay.
So let's talk about Guilty at EVO this year, right?
Yes, please.
Now, Guilty Gear's 4th year at EVO. There's, I think, 3 main points that you guys want to be looking for when you watch this game, right? And this goes out to a lot of people, right? When you watch EVO, when you go to EVO especially, you can make this event so much more fun for yourself by paying attention to games that aren't even just the one that you've mainly focused on, right? If you can really get excited about every game there, you give yourself so much more to... This is EVO, man. This is the biggest stage for fighting games in the world, and you can really do yourself a disservice if you kind of go in with a closed mind, right?
Yes.
So even... I want to specifically invite people that do not watch Guilty Gear, that do not care about this game, or even BB Tag, Dragon Ball, whatever, man. Take an interest in some of these other games. You're right, they're on that stage for a reason. Mm-hmm. For Guilty Gear specifically, from a macro perspective, all right, so first year in 2015, you had Xrd sign. Zidane from North America makes a top 8 run that was incredible, right? It was
right.
This is a game that tradition.
He beat Fab, right?
He didn't just beat FAB. He beat FAB. He beat Kazunoko. He beat Cross Zato. He beat Hasegawa. He beat some of the best players of those characters, period.
Yeah.
And I think that's a major point of this game when you talk about it, right? It kind of... L.I. Joe said something to Kid Viper on Twitter maybe a few months ago. He said, Guilty Gear to me feels like Third Strike in that it's Japan's game. When I watch it, I feel like I'm just watching the Japan Masterclass. And there's some validity to that, of course, right? We know that there's a gap there. Because actually, let me point something out real quick. Look at all these titles that are main titles for EVO this year. I noticed this recently.
Okay.
Out of the main titles, only 2 games in that lineup are legacy arcade titles, and that's Tekken and Guilty. Have you noticed that?
Ooh, you're right.
I never thought about it.
Yeah, everything else
honest.
is straight console now.
console.
Yeah.
So Under Night is of course one, but if you're talking just the main titles, there's only 2 arcade legacy titles here.
Dang, okay.
And it's no surprise that obviously given the arcade environment and the benefits that can provide for training and the mentality that players have out here, not just in Japan but in Korea as well, it's no surprise that for those 2 titles, there's a very tough and very developed competitive field for those games, right?
Makes sense.
Yeah.
We naturally look at Guilty Gear as kind of like this, oh man, this is just like the JP overlords, right? But the truth is, the foreign community and the international community has made pretty big strides in this game over the years, right? 2015, Zidane makes a top 8 one, gets in over some JP players that we thought would have been shoo-ins, right? That was big. It's a shame that didn't get more attention that year.
Right.
2016, we think, okay, it was just a fluke last time. Then Marlon Pai and Top Garen from Korea gets in. That's 2 international players and 6 JP in top 8. Last year, I think a lot of people kind of had this misconception, right? Last year we ended up with an all JP top 8. But actually, if you look at the top 32, there were more international players in the top 32 last year, than there were any of the years prior.
Okay.
What that tells me is the bar, although there's still a very big gap there, right? It's been slowly whittling away.
Okay.
Now, the problem is, of course, this year we also had some other titles get released that maybe distracted a lot of players from being able to solely focus on Guilty Gear, right?
Yeah.
That said, what's going to make this event interesting is that the people who are entered in this game at EVO are focused on this game. They're committed to this game, and you're going to see nothing but the best. So what I'm looking for right off the bat, North America, specifically America and Canada, that you want to pay attention to, North American and Canadian players. I'm trying to see Daemendo. I'm trying to see Lost Souls. I'm trying to see Bjorn, Son of Bears. I'm trying to see Otashi. I'm trying to see Kid Viper. Can one of those guys make top 8? Right?
Yeah.
You got Deb. You got Peppery Splash from Canada. Can one of these guys make a crazy run and get that top 8 spot? Can we save ourselves from the all JP top 8?
And I remember too, wasn't even like at Frosty Faustings, like Teresa Jam came and didn't even make top 8, right?
That was Frosty Faustings.
Yeah,
right?
earlier this year.
Of course he came back for Combo Breaker and got second place to Daru, who that's not who I need to bring up next, right? Korea, right? Daru can he make the top 8 finally? He's come to every Evo for this game, but has missed top 8 all 3 times. He's one of the strongest players outside of Japan. I have to think maybe is he going to have a chance this year? You also got to put Kizzy K. You can never count out Elvin Shadow. Marlon Pai as well. Obviously, he made top 8 before. He can easily do it again. I'm looking to see where these guys go and how well they fare in the bracket.
Well, RafTX mentions Hamad in the chat, and he's been doing really well. Is he not going, or is he?
Well, Hamad would be in the conversation, but I don't think he's going.
Okay.
Bummer.
So that's for the international community. Those are some of the names that you guys want to pay attention to. That's who I'm looking for. That's who I'm looking for to maybe make something happen, right?
Okay.
And then to maybe make it a little bit more, to shift attention to the JP side, right? You got to talk about FAB. You got to talk about Kappa FAB, by the way.
Yeah.
Taka, Fumo, and of course Kadako. These are players who have missed top 8 every year at EVO, right? They haven't made a top 8 yet. Kadako in particular got 9th place 2 years in a row.
Okay.
Yeah. Now look. To be fair, Kadako got his revenge at EVO Japan, got top 8 there, right? But to quote Eris, you got to do it at the real thing, man. You can't do it at the Chinese knockoff, right? You got to do it at the real thing.
Yo,
that's Eris's words, not mine.
Okay, it's all right.
I don't necessarily agree with that completely, but I get what he's saying. So for Kadako, for FAB, for Taka, and Fumo, I think is consistently considered one of the top players in Japan. But in international tournaments, when he's traveled overseas to play, he has not had like the high impact. In fact, like he most often gets upsetted early on, right?
Okay.
And usually like top 64 around that area. Is he going to get it together this year? Can he make it happen? That's one of the best LFL players, and also alongside Lost Soul in this tournament. That's someone else you have to mention.
Well, let me ask you this question, actually, if you don't mind me interrupting real quick. Do you know how many Japanese players are making it out here, like pure Japanese Guilty Gear players?
You say pure Guilty Gear players. If you looked at the statistics for the entries, there are not that many people that came to this tournament just for Guilty Gear, right? I think it had the lowest amount of overall uniques, which means like a lot of these guys are playing. They came to play other stuff too,
right? Yeah.
But in terms of the players that came from Japan, I'm not sure the exact number. It's maybe slightly less than 2016, but not so much less. It's probably around. It's still probably around 50 or 60, I'd say.
It's still pretty significant.
For sure. Yeah.
Okay.
And anyway, my last point that I want you guys to watch out for, and this is the big one, right? When we have our eyes set on the stage on Sunday, who I'm looking for. I don't want to say any dream matchups. I don't post on game FAQs. I'm not about fan fictions or anything like that, right? I don't like to write stories like that. But straight up, Machibo and Kazunoko are ever-present threats in any kind of tournament, right? Like, you have to give respect to those guys just because of who they are. Mm-hmm. But the 3 players that I'm looking for that I want you to keep an eye on, Nage, Omito, and Mochi Soul. Mochi is the dark horse of this tournament, I think. Okay. Mochi and Lox. Lox, this is going to be his first time competing overseas. Mochi, this is going to be his first time competing overseas as well.
Okay.
Mochi, keep your eye on this guy, man. He played Omito in a first to 10 this past weekend at Mikado, and the thing is, he was kind of out of practice for a little while, but because the Guilty Gear community was able to pool resources and we actually saved up enough money to be able to get his flight out there and to get him to compete, right? But we told him right off the bat, we're like, if you were going to send you got to go for real. And for 2 to 3 months, he started a new card in the arcade, got to the highest rank within a month, and every time I would go in there, if no one else was in there, he'd be in there by himself on training mode. He took it really seriously. He played Omito in the first. Here's the best part. We said, hey, we want to do a first attempt before Evo. Mochi, who do you want? He said, give me the best. Give me Omito. No, didn't even flinch. Just said, give me Omito. I want the world champ.
What was the result?
10-8 Mochi.
Oh, okay, all right. Okay.
Yeah, it was pretty good. So I got to put Mochi as the dark horse. That's definitely the X factor this tournament. He can definitely shake some stuff up. But I'm also looking for Nage, your Evo Japan champion, and Omito, your Evo 2017 champion. If I could get an Evo Japan champ versus Evo 2017 champ run back, I will guarantee you I'll lose my shit. Guarantee you I will. That's what I'm looking for. But anyway, guys, that's Guilty Gear in a nutshell at Evo. Thanks, make sure you make sure you guys pay attention to all the games here, man. There's so much dope stuff going on in multiple titles this weekend. There's too much to box yourself in, man. For sure. You guys enjoy. Everybody have fun watching Evo, and I'll see you guys there.
Well, before you go, anything that you want to plug for yourself, you will be commentating Guilty Gear at Evo, correct?
I'll be doing Guilty Gear, Dragon Ball, and eating boneless chicken wings behind the stream station. Yes, I'll be doing all those things.
Sounds good.
Anything else you want to plug?
Yeah, guys, Fighting Tuesday goes down at Red Bull Gaming Sphere Nakano every Tuesday. It's one of the biggest weekly gatherings in the world, despite only being a Bandai Namco Entertainment. Being restricted to only Bandai Namco titles, which means Tekken and Dragon Ball right now. But actually, from today, we'll have Soul Calibur 6 set up as well.
Oh, sick.
Make sure you guys tune in to twitch.tv/Anime Illuminati. Show us your support, man. We appreciate y'all.
Thanks,
See you guys at Evo.
All right.
Obliged.
Peace out.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, David and James. Y'all be good.
Sure, dude.
All right.
I appreciate you coming on, of course. All right. Get him out of here.
Yeah, all right. Nice.
So, up next, we wanted to talk about Under Night. This is a side game. It's not one of the officials. But because it has so many entrants, there has been such a good response for the game. It's had great numbers at other tournaments, too.
Yes.
We thought it'd be important to chat about it. Find out a little bit more. Part of that's going to be streamed as well, so it's not just something that is only accessible to you if you're at Evo in person. It's also available on stream. So we're going to bring on Daryl, DJ Cream, to talk with us. Are you there?
Yes, I am.
Hey!
Oh, sweet.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. Now watch this. Let's see if I get this work. Pooh, there we go.
All
okay.
right, here's the picture that he said to use for him.
Yes. I'm 100% just doing what they wanted me to do, okay?
Cool. I'm glad you're doing this, because this is straight up for the memes, whoever kick it with me at all the majors I go to.
So you are TOing for the Under Night tournament?
Correct. Yes, I am. Before I do that, I would also like to shout out MajinObama. He gave a lot of the points I want to make. So I want to reciprocate that by saying, as part of the Anime Evo team, we also have an Anime Evo store. And part of that store are Mikado t-shirts that will not only... so the proceeds for those Mikado t-shirts that you could buy from the Anime Evo store will go towards the arcade that he was talking about in Takada Nobaba. Cool. And yeah, so that helps fund the players for their travels and stuff like that. So if you want to see more Japanese players come out to America, for example, please check out our store, buy those Mikado t-shirts, and help support the players overseas.
Cool, man.
All right.
So, yeah, let's talk a little bit about the UNIST tournament.
Yeah, I mean, just as a setup, I mean, obviously the new version just came out for PS4 in America finally, and then it's coming out in Steam. But Combo Breaker just had the recent largest tournament in the U.S., in North America, but now EVO, over 200 entrants. I mean, how exciting is that for you?
To be honest, it's actually nerve-wracking because, okay, so the premise is that when before the game even came out, I made an estimate of maybe 80 people will show up, but y'all are rocking it for Uni this year. 209 players, it's amazing. I've never seen a side tournament this big at Evo. Honestly, it's huge. At the beginning when you guys were saying that old school Marvel and I'm a CVS2 player. I grew up playing CVS2, and seeing Evo, seeing Evo in 2005, those were the standard numbers you would reach.
Right.
Yeah.
So seeing that at a side tournament in 2018, it's phenomenal. Really, you guys are rocking it. So. 200, over 200 people. That's the first. First of all, this is the first UNIST tournament at EVO. Last year, we ran UNIL, and UNIST came out in Japan 2 weeks later. So we missed the boat on it.
Right.
I mean, this is the first UNIST tournament.
Yeah, I mean, I also feel like this is kind of an indication to just how much people are really enjoying, and I feel like this time people are noticing Under Night in Birth a lot more than it was for UNIL, because I feel like a lot of people are talking about it this year in particular.
Yeah, to be honest, there's a lot of quality of life changes, especially for the Western audience. For example, the tutorial that we got was one of the most robust and detailed tutorials I've ever seen in a fighting game. There was stuff that I've been playing Uni since it came out in America 4 years ago, and there was stuff in the tutorial that I didn't even know about, and I was let's see where I can introduce it to my gameplay, for example. Yeah. So yeah, that game did a lot to just further help players get into the game and then learn what the steps are to progress in terms of skill levels and things you need to learn and skill sets you need to develop over time. So yeah, the Western audience in particular has really gravitated towards this game. I remember reading a article, a translated article from Goichi maybe 4 or 5 years ago, where he was talking with Daigo about baby Anime Evo, one of our first or second times we ran Anime Evo, and he was really impressed at how popular Uni is in the West. He attributes it to really cool characters, but I think the game has spoken for itself, and it's just more than a collection of cool characters.
Okay. Well, I mean, I guess in terms of then 200 people, I'm sure you have the list of all the people who have signed up. Who are the players that you're actually looking out for right now?
Yeah. So basically, if you go check our brackets, we have 8 pools going on for Uni, and practically each one of those pools have at least 3 or 4 people seated that are terrifying.
Nice.
Yeah, it's crazy because the skill gap in this game has definitely shrunk among the top players. Before, it used to be NorCal used to rock Unil for a good chunk, and now all kinds of different regions are stepping up their game. For example, Canada, the Vancouver area, right, the Toronto area, New York, friggin'.
The guy who won CEO and Combo Breaker was Klim from Canada, right?
Yeah. So Klim is definitely the odds-on favorite for this year because he won Combo Breaker, previously the most entered Uni tournament in the world, and then he recently went back to back at CEO Otaku, or not CEO Otaku, just CEO.
Yeah.
But so you have him claiming Midwest and East Coast. This is gonna be the first time he's gonna like try to go for the Triple Crown by trying to take the West Coast at EVO. So hopefully he accomplishes that. But the difference is that there's gonna be a lot of California representation at EVO as opposed to Combo Breaker and CEO. So they're like literally a lot of the top seeds were a lot of California heads I didn't see travel out to Combo Breaker.
Okay.
And those are pretty much like the group of sharks that everyone's trying to avoid in the pools.
Well, what about foreign players though? Do we have a lot of expert Japanese players coming here for UNIST at all?
Yeah, we do. It's a small handful, but like two of them are very terrifying. One of them is Mabushin. For a long time Anime Evo stream watchers, Mabushin has been a perennial like top Japanese player in a bajillion different anime games like Aquapaza and all that like other stuff. But like Uni is one of his better games. He plays Gordeau, and yeah, he got top 8 I think 2 years ago for UNIL, and yeah, like he's gonna be a returning player. But he's only the second Japanese, like he's the second strongest Japanese player that's going to show up. It was brought to my attention earlier this afternoon that the third best Merkava player it will be showing up at EVO. His name is Heiho, and yeah, like he's the third best Merkava player. A lot of players who pick up Uni, they look at Merkava and they're like, this guy is terrifying full screen normals. So yeah, like y'all need to brush up your Merkava experience. Also, Klim plays Merkava as well.
Yeah, so everyone's gonna have to learn how to fight that character anyway. So, oh man,
so, yeah, there are good Japanese players like coming through. It's mostly American players, obviously. So there's too many like really good like North American players that are showing up to play. So,
I mean, that's actually crazy to me because, like, to say that there was over 200 and the majority of them are from North America means that, because I was thinking maybe the numbers would be inflated by a lot of the foreign players.
That's what I wanted too,
but if it's actually everybody in the States that's going to this, that's super exciting. And, just as a side note, like, this is something I talk about every year, but it's like, if you want your game to get noticed by EVO staff, like in consideration, this is kind of the way you do it, right? You run a side tournament, you have over 200 entrants. It's almost that's like 2/3 about the 8th game in terms of number of entrants at EVO, right? So you're right there. And so, this is how you do it. You go there, you support, you have a lot of fun, you throw a hype tournament and everyone gets excited about it and they'll notice for sure.
Dude, like this reminds me of like the momentum that Uni is riding right now, this wave of like popularity and respect that other FGC members are giving it. Completely reminds me of like when Melty Blood got an official Evo client in 2010, because like the previous majors going into Evo that previous year, a lot of people were like, "Hey, Melty Blood is alive. It's kicking, and it's also like taking viewership away from even Street Fighter 4 at that time." So if we keep riding this momentum, who knows? Like the future of UNIST, especially at EVO, could be shining even brighter than it is right now.
Yeah, and it's coming out on Steam, like I said, which is a big deal in my opinion. Because I've told so many people online, I was like, "You should play this game," and they were all like, "I would, except it's not on Steam." And like, nope, no more excuse, man. August, here it comes.
Exactly.
So, I mean, if you have any passing interest in the game, you gotta make sure you watch this on the side streams as well. So, do you know which streams it's gonna be, which channels it'll be streamed on?
I do. It'll be on. Oh wait, unless you do.
Yeah. So like for top four will be on an official EVO stream, but for our pools all day Friday, we're actually reaching out to a local SoCal streamer named Dark and Dark. So he worked with us last year for streaming a bunch of our anime EVO titles, and this year he's going to be concentrating a lot on Uni this year. So
nice.
There's a lot to look forward to.
I know that the EVO streams, it's going to be on EVO 7, right?
Are the pools actually going to be streamed?
I believe so. Well, it's different side events that are going on, but yeah, I think that it'll be EVO 2 and EVO 7
it's like a
for
stream schedule, but the location for Uni top 4 I don't think has been revealed yet, so I'll keep that a secret for you guys.
Okay, sounds good. Sounds good.
And when you find out, definitely let us know. We'll retweet it, try to spread awareness of it.
A lot of, I'm really impressed with the popularity that UNIST has gathered, especially like in the last 6 months. Like I said, I was only expecting 80 people to show up, and then last night I was punching like at least 100, 200 people. Like they're looking at their pools and they're trying to assign them a seat in a pool for
awesome.
Oh man,
very cool.
This week.
So
it's a lot of work, but the payoff is going to be tremendous. I can't wait.
So you would say then that the biggest storyline really is like Klim coming into this and then finally having the NorCal top players traveling to see if they could try to unseat him as the current champion, right?
Yeah, correct. Because at Anime Ascension earlier this year, it was a NorCal player who actually took that title. So Klim is actually missing the West Coast title to give him full North American dominance, so to speak. So
I guess he's West Coast, but yeah, different country, West Coast. He, by the way, in the chat says that his goal is to have 3 people from his scene in top 8.
Ooh,
dude, it's very possible. It's hella possible, actually.
Okay.
Like Vancouver, like their community is like super good. There's I could at least name 3 people who have the potential of making out of their pools.
Sick.
It's just after you get out of your pools, there's still more people to fight.
Okay.
Awesome. Well, is there anything else that you want to talk about?
Quickly, I just want to note that I'm also the TO for Melty Blood. I'm doing Uni all day Friday, and I'm doing Melty Blood all day Saturday.
Dang.
And quickly, I just want to note that the exact opposite of Uni is true for Melty Blood, where there's a lot of Japanese players entering Melty Blood, and they're all really good. The major storyline, Yoichi is not entering for the first time in 4 years.
Wow.
So there's going to be he's gonna be busy concentrating on DPS.
Right.
Busy,
but he's the master, right? So
yeah. So we're gonna have a new Melty Plague champion this year. There's at least 8 people from Japan who are really high level, really strong players, and there's also still the perennial North American best players. So
cool.
Okay.
We'll be streaming that on Numaki's channel on Saturday. So all fans of Melty Blood, you know who Numaki is, and just hit up his channel. And there's going to be some really strong Melty Blood on Saturday night.
Yeah. Also, I mean, before you go, I definitely want to give a shout out to the entire Anime Evo team, because they are pulling off some craziness over there. And the Anime Evo is pretty much proof that if your game is not a main game at Evo, it doesn't even matter, because you have these side tournaments here. SNK has even pitched in $5,000 to the KOF 14 team on the Anime Evo, and so, how many games are you guys running? Do you remember offhand?
It's more than I can count on 2 hands. So it's somewhere around 20, 24, 25. It's gotten ridiculous.
It's listed as 27.
27 side tournaments. There you go.
And it's so, Under Night's definitely the biggest, but 171 for Windjammers, which is funny. But BBCF has 114, Gundam Versus 97, KOF 89. Melty Blood 73, Sailor Moon 62, etc., etc. There's a lot of entrants for all of these games.
Yeah, and it's
also so I just wanted to note that the Anime Evo team, we're over the years we've kind of fostered these new TOs who said in previous years, hey, can you run this? Can you run this? Sure, we can run it, but we can help you run it, and that teaches. That's the lesson of teach a man to fish, and you feed him for a lifetime. You know what I mean? So.
Genius. You got all these fishermen now.
Beautiful.
I like it.
And the boat's getting full.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, I really appreciate you coming on to talk about it.
Yeah, dude, thanks for having me, dude. You guys rock the show tonight or next week. So yeah,
all right,
later.
Thanks. And again, this is Daryl Bunao. Of course, you can see it right there. You can follow him on Twitter at Daryl Bunao for any Anime Evo information. All right, cool. So
coming up next, we are mostly going to return to the official schedule of Evo finals. So the first game to have its finals will be Injustice, Injustice 2. After that, BB Tag, Smash 4, and so forth. And Sunday comes. To talk about Injustice,
I'm only chuckling because of the image that he asked us to use. So yeah.
Yeah. Real picture of Mr. Aquaman coming up now
Here we
to
go.
talk with us. That he looks just like that. What's up, buddy? Can you hear us?
What's going on, guys?
Hey, all right.
What's his Twitter again? Is
Mister, I think.
Okay.
I think he spells the whole thing out.
Yeah, someone took it before me, unfortunately.
Plumber. Yeah, Mister Aquaman.
Okay, got it.
Cool.
What's
Anyway,
going on,
hey,
everyone? I'm here to talk about some Injustice 2.
let's talk about Injustice 2.
But actually, before I get into that, I want to touch on something. I was watching you guys talk about kind of evolution and everything that's going to be happening throughout the week and weekend, and I want to add in that the Wednesday prior to EVO, there will be a EVO version of Wednesday Night Fights happening at the Luxor there in Vegas with 6 games for guys to enter. We're getting a nice preview of those 6 games. Street Fighter, Tekken, Dragon Ball FighterZ, BlazBlue, Injustice, and Guilty Gear happening there. I just want to touch on that. I wasn't too sure if you guys did or not.
Oh,
Negative.
okay.
Did
Yeah.
not.
Okay, yeah. And I think the Level Up guys are running that there. So
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep, absolutely. Just want to touch on that before I dive into Injustice 2 here at Evolution, which is going to be the 4th stop on the Injustice Pro series of season number 2 for this game. I'm so excited.
He does not main Aquaman. Sorry, everybody.
Oh! Did someone ask that?
Yeah.
I do not.
Oh, no, I'm just kidding.
All right. So long story short,
Yeah.
I'm not good at a basic fighting game fundamental level with a character that's fundamentally sound.
Right.
Oh,
Right.
okay, got it. Yeah.
I need gimmicks.
Yes.
I need not good to do good, in a sense.
I know exactly the feeling, believe me.
If that makes any sense whatsoever.
I totally get it.
I swear this is the absolute truth. Day one, Injustice 1. My name was Mr. Aquaman before Injustice ever came out. I love Aquaman. He's my favorite superhero.
Okay.
I put in the disc. I picked Aquaman, and after like 2 hours in the lab, I went, I can't do this. It's just not fun.
Yeah, I'm with you.
I can't do it.
Yeah.
And so yeah, ever since then, that's been a pretty good meme. But I love the character. I still like to represent. And yeah, sorry, chat. My bad.
It's all good.
Oh man.
All right, hey, let's talk about Injustice 2 at EVO.
Yes, Injustice 2 at EVO. Let's see what I got here. There's a lot of really big storylines coming into Injustice 2 here in year 2 for the game, and just to put things in perspective for everyone watching, our champion is not returning.
Wait, so
Dragon won year 1 of Injustice 2 at Evolution,
Yeah.
and he retired at Combo Breaker this year.
okay.
He will not be returning to defend his championship. So no matter what, a new champion will be crowned for Injustice 2 at Evolution.
Dang. Okay. Now, was it because I know he had some health issues and stuff like that? Was it that, or did he just want to stop, like exit on top kind of thing?
It was a culmination, if that's a big enough word for it, of a few things. It was health. It was the grind.
Yeah.
He's a very young guy. Pressure
all the stuff going on.
and his age, it was a lot going on, and he decided to take time.
Okay.
He was very successful, and so he was in a place where he could take the time off and just kind of reset mentally, as he himself has said. He's kind of preparing for the next wave, which could possibly be the next Mortal Kombat. We don't know. Ed Boon's trolled us for like 17 months about it.
But yeah, he hasn't like permanently quit fighting games, but
that was
not.
the main question that I had. Okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
he's expecting to come back for MK.
Okay. Sweet.
Yep. A couple other storylines coming in. Sonic Fox has yet to win any of the events for Season 2 of the Injustice Pro Series,
That's
which
true.
is absolutely shocking from the ground up.
Didn't even think about it.
Yeah, and to add on top of that, it's kind of been Season 2 has just been a barren wasteland in comparison to Season 1, where things weren't predictable, but there were patterns, there were players that were at the top, and here in Season 2, it's just thrown out the window, especially when we kicked off at Combo Breaker, where I was sitting there looking at the Smash bracket, and I said, if I took this thing and flipped it upside down, that's what I would have predicted. So from then on, I've just had no idea who's going to do well, because everyone has stepped their game up, and the guys that were dominant are starting to lose that dominance as all those guys that are putting in the hours grinding and getting hungrier and hungrier and hungrier are catching up and starting to take over.
Right, like one of the main new names is Tweety, for example, right?
Oh. Yeah, I'll get into him when I get into the players to look out for, because it's impossible not to talk about him at this point.
For sure.
But I want to talk about how it's we haven't seen the domination of, say, even though the entire Echo Fox squad. Sonic Fox is a part of that. Theo and Scar, those three were just back-to-back top 8, top 8, top 8, top 8, top 8. And now they've started to, struggle here in season number 2. And I think that's really good for not only viewers, but the guys competing to see others be able to kind of crack into those top 8s and start to beat these guys. I think that's a nice confidence boost for everyone here in Injustice. And I'm really excited, especially with these young guys. Also, 3 IPS events. That was Combo Breaker, CEO, and Vianality. 3 different winners.
Right, okay.
So there's been a lot of, differences between season 1 and season 2. I guess
definitely.
It's what I'm getting
More variety.
at. Because season 1 there was dominance, throughout. Sonic Fox winning most of the IPS events and almost everything in NRS for the past 5 years. Yeah. It's about time, anyways. The last storyline I want to talk about is that there is almost no EU presence for an NRS game at EVO, which I think is the first time ever.
Oh, yeah.
I only see one representative of the EU, and that's Dizzy TT, who actually won VS Fighting a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
Foxy's in the bracket. Foxy Grandpa, who was a finalist, got second place in MKX. The first year, I believe, that it was at EVO, he signed up, but it's not going to be able to make it. So we're missing all kinds of top players from the EU side that are just incredibly strong. Okay. I think that's a huge storyline coming into this.
Now, are the Middle Eastern players showing up?
Yes, they are. We've got representatives of Shark Teeth and Tekken Master, who have been very strong at all the tournaments that they've entered, both making top 8 at Vianality, and I think they both were top 16 up at Combo Breaker, and I don't remember CEO, but they're really high in the IPS rankings, doing a really good job. Those guys from Nasser Esports down there, or over there, I should say.
I know that there are some players coming from Latin America. I know Killer Chinook's going, for example.
Yeah, I did see him in the bracket. I'm not too sure how much of a threat he's going to be here in Injustice 2. He's actually our current Mortal Kombat X champion. The only tournament that really happened for this year. That was huge. Other than Vianelli, they're a Combo Breaker. But just one of those guys that is grinding, traveling, and supporting the game. And I actually want to see what he's doing now that he's solely focused on Injustice rather than splitting that time and effort between multiple games at an event. But he is definitely a guy to keep an eye on. I didn't see a couple other Latin guys in there like Hey George and a few others. But yeah, we've still got some representation across the board.
Talk to me about how the character situation is looking up. Do you expect variety? What do you think about that?
I'm expecting variety, but as most viewers know, I mean, just get ready for a counterpick war. That's pretty much been the name of the game here in Injustice. Yep. I mean, here's the thing: is that some matches are won at the character select screen before it even starts, and it's not even that like someone have an advantage, but it really does feel that way where, first game matters so much, and you're going to see, thankfully NRS put this in there, a lot of hidden selects, and I love that mind game of not only they don't know, their opponent doesn't know, we don't know, we're going to be surprised once it actually says round 1 fight.
Actual blind select,
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Really excited for that. I'm going to talk about, let's see, players to look out for, guys. Mm-hmm. Number 1 on my board, and I've kind of got them grouped. Number 1 is Team Noble.
Oh, okay. Sure.
This consists of Tweety, your Combo Breaker champion, Samij, your CEO champion, and then you've got guys like Rewind, consistent top 8s, Illusions, consistent top 8s, who's trying to make a comeback. But the Noble has dominated Season 2 of the Injustice Pro Series, almost in similar fashion how Echo Fox dominated in Season 1. It's just, these guys have come in and there's a new reign. And that's not a pun into the Noble logo, if you guys know what that is, where they're wearing a crown. But they really have. Tweety and Samij are coming in here.
Okay.
Oh, and I'll get into it later with my predictions, but they're coming in here at the absolute apex of the game and are the two guys to look out for, I think.
Okay.
But with that, their squad is incredibly strong. Rewind is very young. Look for them to have a breakout performance as well. And we'll get into the Canadians.
Okay.
Yeah, I was wondering about that. Yeah.
Okay.
Three huge representatives, the Commander brothers, Honeybee and Biohazard, and then Hayate. I mean, the three of them were top 3 at an IPS event over there at Viennale.
That was all Viennale, yeah.
1, 2, 3, back to back to back. Biohazard is your points leader of the entire Injustice Pro series. He's been stupidly consistent throughout this season, does have the win, has got to be on everyone's radar and one of the favorites to win the entire event. And all 3 have a top 8 this season.
Okay.
So we got to look at those guys, and then of course you have the Echo Fox guys, and then we're going to break these down into just single players that I think are players to look out for that have a chance at winning this entire thing. Silvereye, representing Method, has just ever since I've met the guy, he joined our scene in Mortal Kombat X. He has, from day one that I've put my eyes on him until now, he's gotten better every single day, and it's kind of freaking me out because there's a lot of days in the year, and he is all of a sudden beating all of these players consistently. Has that top 8 under his belt, I believe that combo breaker, and is coming into this as one of the favorites, has plenty of IPS points, and I think that he's a guy to look out for. Also on that list is Gur, one of the nicest people I've ever met in my life.
Yeah.
Plays a character, and this is what's unique about Gur. He plays a character no one wants to play.
Yeah.
What's the character?
Adam.
Right.
No one play. Not a lot of people play Adam, but Gur plays Adam, and he plays him the way he's supposed to be played, which is to annoy the ever-loving crap out of you.
It's okay. We're not G-rated. You can say annoy the living shit out of people if you want.
Yeah. This is, and you know, it's so interesting to see how he's able to break people down mentally, and the character does it with him. Because if you guys know Adam, he's a character that can at times and even normally kind of break rules of the game.
Yeah.
He becomes the size of an atom. He becomes a
dot.
You can't. Yeah, he becomes a dot. He almost becomes unhittable.
Right.
Yeah.
He has moves that intentionally low profile things that were not programmed to be low profiled. Mids don't really exist.
Yeah.
And just he controls the pace of the game, and the skill that Gur has. Even Gur back in season 1 of IPS was making consistent top 4s at majors. With Deadshot, with Bane, and so his skill with this, and then you add on this character, it's a recipe for success. Right. And I think that he may be coming to this as one of the favorites. The more and more he plays, and the less he gets nervous at this event. Right. That's been one of the Achilles heels he has.
Because he actually just won a tournament. I saw him tweeting about that, how happy he was that he just took a tournament. So
it was Defend the North, I think.
Yeah.
Defend the North, yeah. Which is home territory.
Yeah.
Low key, a lot of these North American events. I want to bring this up. Almost the entirety of Injustice 2, sort of minus Sonic Fox and stuff. But a lot of Injustice 2 tournaments, hometown boys are winning their own events. It's very interesting. So Combo Breaker this year was Tweety. He is Midwest. CEO was Samij. He's from Florida. And then you got Gur up there. Winning up in New York. Unfortunately, EU wasn't able to defend their turf. But what are you going to do with it at that point? But yeah, I'm really excited to see Gur here at Evo. I'm predicting he's going to do very well. And again, he's coming in here with someone that at any given time could just break his opponent mentally. And I'm just so excited about that. Gross, top 8 in points. Top 8 in season 1. Second at Combo Breaker, 4th at CEO. I can't really say much more. Gross is just an outstanding player.
He's been winner's side top 8 at both CEO and Combo Breaker.
Yep.
Okay.
Very consistent.
Nice.
And yeah, I really can't say more about Gross. Definitely one of the favorites to win the whole thing, and look for him to be up there with everyone else.
I mean, I'm going to put you on the spot here, though. If you had to pick one guy right now to win the whole thing, who would you pick?
Noble Samij is my pick to win Evolution this year.
Okay.
Seems reasonable, man.
I mean, but wasn't CEO like one of his first tournament wins recently, or has he won?
He has one in the past.
Okay.
He has one in the past. This was his biggest one.
Yeah.
Okay.
By far.
Okay.
Yeah. He was always second place. You know, that was the story of season one. Was second place. It's just Pro Series finale, second place. Always, never getting above either Sonic or someone like that. There was always that Achilles heel, and even against Tweety, Tweety was actually performing really well against Samij early in their sets, and online we have a good program where they play all the time, every single week in fact. But Samij at CEO, the dominance that he showed in that 6-0 of a grand final, I can't not pick him to win this the way that he's playing against the other favorite that is Noble Tweety.
Yeah, man. Tweety first at one of the big majors, second place at the other.
Yeah.
That he's been to. He's my pick.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I have predicted top 3 is going to be top 3 in the current points.
Okay.
Which is Samij, Tweety, Bio. I think that those are the
Seems
3.
reasonable. Does Sonic
hottest players?
Okay, we got to kick you off. But does Sonic Fox make top 8?
Loser side, if he does.
But you don't think it's likely that he does?
I don't think it's likely.
Dang.
The way that everyone's playing right now, and looking at the brackets matchup wise, I don't know, guys. You guys let us know too what your guys' predictions are, because they're all juicy. Absolutely. And real quick, my number 1 dark horse, Buffalo, could low key make top 8.
Whoa! Wow. Okay, the kid.
Yep,
there's a couple of kids in there, but...
he has a really good lineup for top 8. I'm really excited for him, and then all the other dark horses I have down here: Deoxys, Nyx, Ominous. You guys know them if you follow the scene.
A bunch of kids.
And thank you guys so much for having me on. I hope you guys enjoy Injustice 2, and like Majin was talking about, every other game.
Yeah.
It's just a blast to watch. Sit in the crowd, enjoy the entirety of the FGC.
So you are commentating, right?
I will be commentating Injustice 2, which is going to be on, I believe, Evo 4.
Okay.
No, it's going to be on Evo 5 on Friday, and then Top 8 is going to be on the main channel on Saturday.
Okay.
For sure. And is there anything that you want to plug?
Real quick, every single week, multiple times a week, we host the largest online Injustice 2 tournament called War of the Gods. I won't talk about another platform on here.
That's fine.
But follow me on Twitter if you guys want updates on all that. And if you want to enter, free to enter, cash prizes, and there you go.
Well, I watch it at stream.me/war every week.
Nice.
Thanks, David.
You got it, dude. Thanks a lot for joining us. Appreciate it, man. Have fun this
Absolutely,
weekend.
guys.
All right. Peace.
After we've already done a few games, we're only 6 minutes behind. Not too shabby.
Yeah, I know. We're doing a pretty good job
good, actually.
kicking people out here.
All right. Coming up next, as he gets out of here, we are going to have EbonicPlague on to talk about BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle. Are you there?
Hello.
Hey, all right. How's it going, man?
These guys.
I'm hungry.
These guys,
Well,
you
I
guys
can't
and
help
your
you with that.
you guys and your headshots, man. I mean, you guys and your headshots here. I mean, look.
James, just let me smang it. Just let me smang it.
It's EbonicPlague BB.
What's that?
EbonicPlague BB.
Oh, that's right. You're right. Okay. Man, you guys and your.
Hey, yeah, we didn't pick these, all right? Okay.
Smang it.
Well, let's talk about BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle. It has 1,178 people entering it. It was announced for Evo before it actually came out.
Right.
But since it's come out, I think a lot of people, honestly, myself included, didn't expect to care about it all that much. But man, I gotta tell you, it's been by far the game that I've grinded the most since it came out. It is a super blast, super fun game.
This game has been killing my sleep schedule so badly in the past couple of weeks. Let me tell you, it's that and Record Keeper. Just you know.
My god!
I say that because EbonicPlague is in our Discord. So,
All right, hey, let's talk about it at Evo. So to start things off, got any interesting storylines coming in?
So in terms of storylines, everybody obviously wants to know about America versus Japan, right? I mean, I feel like that's probably a pretty normal thing going on. So games, America versus Japan right now is very confusing because I would say it's very confusing because we really haven't gotten to see very many of them interact with each other outside of like say Fenrich, whom was at Combo Breaker and CEO, but like I believe both times he needed to DQ himself because he was doing Dragon Ball.
Okay. And I mean, the other crazy thing, too, is that the styles are different, right? Like, I think in U.S., they think Blake is top tier, but in Japan, they think that she's, like, mid or something, right?
So I've only seen the one tier list. One of them was from Dora. Let me see if I can pull it up real fast, actually. I'm somebody who's, like, really, like, adamant about not, like, caring too much about tier lists early on in the game, to be honest with you. But, so, like, Japan definitely has a different idea of character strength. Like, so in Japan, people think Noelle is really strong, right?
Interesting.
Whereas in America, it's definitely not something that people think.
Dude, okay, so I died to a Noelle, and there are people in the chat like, I can't believe you're losing to a Noelle. And I'm like, this character seems super good, so I don't know.
But, to go back to Blake, though, Japan definitely sees the strength in Blake.
Okay.
So, like, even in Dora's tier list, it shows.
Okay.
But yeah, so going on off the styles, one of the... Oh, sorry. What did you say?
No, nothing.
Go ahead. Go on.
It's a good jump.
Going off the styles, in terms of the differences between America and Japan, one thing that happens even at the mid-level in Japan is that they use cross combo as their neutral, their mix-up, and their combo tool, right? Whereas in America, pretty much only the top players use cross combo as their neutral, mix-up, and combo tool, etc., etc. And like our mid to lower level players don't really know how to control it yet, I would say. And one thing I really noticed that using cross combo has allowed is it actually makes a lot of the characters that people think are weaker a little bit stronger, because it gives them stronger neutral in areas where they would like lack. So like say Azrael can't move forward against certain characters because he doesn't have a run, he has a step dash. He can have like Ruby cross combo just shooting the opponent, and he can actually move forward now, right, etc.
Yeah, no, I mean, I played against somebody online who was using the cross combos as neutral, and it was like I felt like I was playing a completely different game all of a sudden. It felt like MVCI almost all of a sudden, like, because the guys are just switching back and forth. It's like they're covering each other all day, and it's crazy.
Yeah, at top level BB Tag, you're absolutely going to see cross combo into active switch, or maybe no active switch. I don't know, man. It could be a cross up, it could be not.
You got to pick those red colors if you're player one, man.
Player two. You can't let them see the aura
fire,
that they
Oh, that's right.
Yep. That's like nice little exploit.
Oh man. Yeah.
And any other interesting storylines going into it?
I would really like to see more West Coast versus East Coast. So, like, for example, like NorCal and SoCal versus New York and I'm skipping on the area Georgia, because that's where like Fame and a few other really strong players are at. Fame being one of my one of the people I think is probably easily the strongest in the scene right now. Along with like New York having SKD, etc.
Sniped me on stream.
You played against him.
I played against him, and he just destroyed me, and I just said LOL, and I left.
We got a
Fame is quite good.
New request for the next
in both games.
Okay. Can you put it in there?
Yeah.
Talk to me a little bit about what you expect in terms of characters or teams. Do you expect variety? Are there certain characters that you expect to see a lot of?
So there's definitely going to be a lot of Ruby, 100%. Let's just be real. Let's get that out the way right now. Absolutely going to be a ton of Ruby.
I hope everybody yells James Chen when she does the forward throw, because she says, take that, but it goes, take that! And it sounds like James Chen. Right. It really does, actually.
So, like, Ruby, there's going to be... there's probably going to be a lot of Jin, I would say. From the Japanese players, you might see a lot of S. They really like S.
Yeah, okay.
And Gordo is obviously a very popular character, despite him not being, like, the best.
Yeah.
I think Gordo's actually in like a perfect place right now. Like, he might be like the pinnacle of like in a proper area of balance.
That makes sense.
Honestly. Let's see. Blake has been getting a lot of popularity. I think even like the mid-level players are starting to understand her strength. Because like honestly, that character's super good. She's just difficult to play for sure. Let's see. But in terms of if I'm going to see variety or just like the same teams,
Yeah.
I feel like because it's early and BB Tag was announced early, we're probably going to see a lot of the same characters. Because people are like, oh, I want to get that W. I want to get past pools.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay,
So,
sure.
like,
They're going with what currently works.
Early and obvious.
But here's the thing.
Yeah.
But the thing is, this game is so open ended. Like, do you think that how many like crazy random teams are we going to get in top 8? Like, just teams that nobody had even thought of yet. You know, that there's just this weird synergy that people have not come up with. Do you think that's going to happen?
well, that depends on how much you've been paying attention to the game, right? So, like, the Japanese players have a varied amount of teams in terms of like character choices and whatnot. Like, and I would say America actually has kind of a lot of different types of teams as well. I mean, I guess New York might be playing a lot of the same characters in particular, but like you see GC Yoshi, for example, Yosuke Hazuma, right? almost nobody is about the path of peace, you know.
I feel like the Evo staff put
Running away.
BlazBlue on Saturday, the top 8, just in case GC Yoshi makes top 8.
Time it out.
Oh man.
I mean, you know, God, I hope he makes top 8. I want to see people get so mad when they play him.
Okay, let's talk though about players to watch.
Oh, yeah. So I guess I'll just start with GC Yoshi since we already talked about that, right? Like GC Yoshi, he's kind of solidified himself as one of the strongest players in NorCal pretty easily. He had won, I believe it was 3 Wednesday night fights in NorCal in a row for BB Tag. And then it took SoCal to come up from for United NorCal dogfights, finally dethrone him.
Okay. Let's go SoCal. Who beat him?
Yeah, right. So that was. Sorry, hold on. I got the character, the players. Spectro, who plays Aurier S.
Right, yeah.
And Spectro is actually on my list for people to watch out for in terms of SoCal. SoCal and NorCal having a lot of strong players, right? I mean, that's just the nature of every game. But so let's talk about Texas real fast.
Okay.
Because the reason I want to talk about Texas real fast, because one of the strongest players in the entirety of the bracket is from Texas.
Oh, wait,
and
hang
that's
on one second. The Brett has actually said that Spectro isn't going to be at Evo this year.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Well, that's my bad.
Okay.
So that's really unfortunate.
Shout outs to the Brett
because
in the chat.
he showed himself to be like super strong.
Okay.
But anyway, so Kid Viper being one of the strongest players just in BB Tag right now, right? And he's from Texas. He plays Hyde and Blake. Hyde, a very strong character that a lot of people, for whatever reason, seem to just not even remember exists. Or at least the start. I guess people are starting to warm up to him now. More Texas players. There's Shinku and Beta Dude. Beta Dude winning Kumite in Texas just yesterday, it was on Sunday. So yesterday.
It was a really good grand finals.
Jan obviously is like a wild card if he's going. I don't really know if he is.
Well,
Beta Dude's not going. I forgot. Beta Dude is not going.
Man, bummer.
He said that the other day, and I was just like so heartbroken because when he started out, he wasn't like super strong in BB Tag, and then he just like gradually got super good.
He's very good.
Okay.
And then another person I want to talk about, going back to the East Coast area, is the Arm.
Okay.
Who plays Hazuma Aurier, another Hazuma player, right? But he's not on the path of peace like like GC Yoshi is. It's a different style of play for sure. But yeah, so out of Chicago, the Arm for sure is going to be like a strong contender in America.
I mean, what about SKD? Obviously,
of course.
Yeah.
It goes without saying. So like New York has probably the strongest, like the most dense in terms of strength for BB Tag. So SKD, Flux, Unsafe on Hit, Omni Scythe, and then there's the wild card, which is Punk, who has shown to be pretty strong right now.
Yeah, man, he's been playing a lot.
It's actually super nice to see, honestly.
Well,
let's talk about Japan.
Yes.
Let's talk about Japan. So the number 1 seed for the tournament, and for good reason, because he has been touted as the best in Japan. He won a qualifying event at the Yoshimoto Gaming Hall, or I believe that's what it's called. It's Kubo, who plays Hyde Ruby, right? And then some more players that you have are obviously Fenrich, Koji Cog, Kiyame, Minami. I'm not 100% sure if Minami is going, actually.
Okay.
Actually, no. Minami's not going, which is really unfortunate because I super like his playstyle.
Yeah.
Someone that is going is Mokemote, who gets top 3 at literally every single Cyclops Osaka event.
Is Kazunoko entered?
Yes, he should be. Let me check real fast. But Kazunoko has somebody who's been, he is entered. Okay. So, who has been streaming a lot recently, and he is honestly shown to be like incredibly scary.
Because I know that whole cross combo neutral thing was some people call the Kazunoko tech, but he kind of stole that from Minami, is what I had heard.
They actually both play the same team.
There you go.
The Brett mentioned it. I was getting ready to mention a few more names. So like Ho-Chan, for example, he got 4th at that, or was it 4? Yeah, 4th at the Yoshimoto. He also plays Ruby Gen. So you guys, like I said, you guys are going to see a lot of Ruby. Sure. There's a ton of Ruby coming out of Japan, especially. I feel like America's top players actually have less Ruby than Japan does.
Oh, man. Jeez. Yeah, it's going to be a noisy top 8 then, probably.
There's a lot of chatting going on in the game.
So if I was to say, who's strongest between America and Japan right now?
Yeah.
At first, if you had asked me maybe 2 months ago, I would have just thrown my hands up in the air and said, I actually don't know. Right now, though, I have to give the edge to Japan.
Okay.
I honestly, I feel like, the treason or whatever you want to call it.
Hey, be honest, man.
Yeah.
Give us the straight stuff.
I mean, once we get to Street Fighter 5, we'll be talking about it.
It's not the only game that we've had that conversation in. So it's a common part of the conversation for sure.
Yeah.
Okay. For sure.
Make a prediction, dude.
Oh, no. Why would you do this to me? Okay, if I were to make a few predictions, I got to put Kubo in top 8 for sure.
Okay.
Gosh, that's so hard.
Kubo is the Wild Tiger team.
No, that's Koji KOG.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. That's right. Okay.
Yeah, who I'm.
I'd have to put Kubo, maybe Mokemote. Ho-Chan seems really strong. Kiyame, I feel like is just up there. For obvious reasons.
Give me the number.
America.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
How many players from North America make top 8?
God, dude. There's not a ton of Japan in here, so I gotta say I want to say 3 to 4. I want to say 3 to 4.
Okay. That's fair. I think that's fair.
Okay.
I'll say 3 to 4.
All right.
Well, I hope Koji wins the whole thing.
It's an uphill battle for the Wall Tiger team.
It's just
so real talk, Wall Tiger is a good team. It's not like it's bad. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
It does have some troubles against some of the characters that just happen to be pretty good in this game.
It does. All right, well, we gotta keep moving on here, but is there anything else that you want to say beforehand?
Look out for PNW in the brackets, for sure.
Okay.
People like Lushi, Buff Uisis, LTL, Veteru, Squawk, and Klim are probably my top tip top for PNW.
Makes sense.
Obviously, I got to be a little biased because I'm from Oregon.
Do it. So. Yeah. And then, is there anything you want to plug?
Go to smash.gg/animeevo and purchase some stuff.
Yes, for sure. Support all the players coming out from Japan and such like that. So, Okay.
Well, thanks for having me on, guys.
Yeah, no problem.
Dude, appreciate it.
I mean, I still also want to throw out there that D-Pity and I have it so that if you play Yukiko for the whole tournament and make top 8, we will buy you dinner. So
you guys are keeping all of the funds. There is no chance.
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know anything about you, assuming that we just tried to make it as easy as possible.
As possible. All right. Well, we're gonna move on. This is going to be the final game of Saturday.
Yes.
And this is going to be, of course, Smash for Wii U, Smash 4, where we have TKBreezy in here, who gave us his own picture. This is his choice.
Anyways.
We had a whole actual real picture lined up, and then he said, no. Change it up.
I had to follow the format, man. There was way too many good ones, and ever since I let the mustache grow, a lot of people were like, "Yo, is that young Eddie Murphy?" So I'm just taking.
Hey, I really appreciate you coming on.
Oh yeah, no problem, man. It was I mean, I've always respect you guys, and it's nice that you guys even thought about me when you were thinking of people to talk about Smash 4.
For sure. All right, well, let's start off by talking about storylines. What's interesting to watch going into this? What should we know about?
Well, the first thing that is like the most prominent is that no one has won 2 Evos yet. So the first one was Zero, the second one was Ally, the third one was Salem, and Zero's not going to be here, so he won't get a chance to ever redeem himself. But Ally and Salem both have a chance to try to get 2 Evos under their belt, or they could be a new crowning Smash 4 player, which a lot of people, including myself, believe will be MKLeo, just off stats. Like,
sure.
If I had to, I know I'm kind of skipping ahead, but as far as like my pick, like, if it was just off stats, I would have said MKLeo and just call it a day. But outside of that, there's like a huge power struggle at the top anyway between Nairo, Salem, MKLeo, Tweak, and DeBuzz. I haven't really seen Salem a lot recently, but as far as like everyone else who still goes to tournaments, Nairo, MKLeo, Tweak, and DeBuzz, I feel like they're like the top 4. Although Nairo's kind of slacking recently, but as far as like the top 2, it seems to be MKLeo and Tweak have been going, head to head at almost every like grand finals. With MKLeo coming out on top, but Tweak is always so close to like making it look like it's even instead of maybe a 60-40, 70-30 type deal.
Okay. One question that I'm very curious about right now with the state of Smash Wii U is the character variety is actually kind of expanded, or has it shrunk at this point in time? I'm not sure like what we expect to see in top 8s.
It's that's I kind of brought that up too, trying to figure out a way to bring this one up, but it's the bail fatigue, because like the last tournament that we just had actually had 4 bails in top 8, and bail was already like a problem in herself, because everyone's like, oh, is she fair, is she not fair, whatever. And but some tournaments, I think a tournament before that, we actually only had 1 bail in top 8, and then that bail actually ended up getting 7, so it's just like a range of a range of different characters. We saw Peach, we saw Luigi, we see Foxes and things like that. So it really depends on how the bails who come here play, and there's 5 of them that can all make the top 8, which being Captain Zack, Salem, Lima, Mistake, and then Tweak. And I know Tweak also plays Cloud, but for the most part, whenever it comes down to the top 8, he's on the bail, because like, that's his best chance of winning. So
fair enough.
I mean, but like, I guess outside of that, you have Cosmos. He's actually kind of known as a bail slayer, but he plays Corrin, and that's he's like one of the only few Corrins that actually gets to that level. We have a couple other Corrins that are going, but as far as like the Corrin, when you think of him, you think of Cosmos, and then you have Elegant as well, who plays Luigi, and Void, who are all part of my like sleeper picks category. Like I think they can all do they can all do quite well, but that's all depends on how they are playing that day. Like, for instance, Void, like he last year went to losers like round 2 and still made it to top 8 on the losers.
Wow.
Okay.
So yeah, it was
a long path.
You could do it. Yeah.
Wow.
Dang. Okay.
Yeah, man, it's been a little bit, but as far as like the last 2 tournaments, as man brought it up in the chat, the last 2 tournaments had a lot of bails, but I think a couple tournaments before then there was like significantly less. But I think they've all been, as all the bails like to say, they all practice together, and then they just learn how to make their character even more and more like. I guess hated is the word. I don't care because I'm just a commentator, but like like watching someone play and get oppressed, I'm like, man, I feel you, dude.
The neutral observer, huh?
Oh man.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, what's your prediction? Like, how many bails do you think are going to make top 8 at Evo this year?
To me, I think it has to be at least 2. And it's between like Tweak, he's definitely going to make it. I feel like he's definitely going to make it. And then it's between Captain Zack, Mistake, and Salem. And I'm not saying Lima can't make it. I would much like if Lima made it, that'd be more wild card than Captain Zack and Mistake. I haven't seen Salem play in a while, so I'm not sure if he's still like tip top shape or whatever.
Right.
Okay.
But just off history, usually Salem kind of comes out of nowhere and just kind of explodes, and that seems to be his thing. Like when he actually busted onto the scene after Bayo came out, it was like no one was talking about him, and then everyone was talking about him like within 2 weeks. So
are there any other like big storylines going into it?
A couple people just got sponsored. I mean, that's kind of big. So Cosmos has just got sponsored by Panda Global, and so it's interesting to see how he's going to play off his first 2 tournaments straight off being sponsored. A lot of the Japan players are coming over. Some of the big ones being Abadango, Como, Shuton, Kameme.
Nice.
They're all Japan players who come. They been here so often. They're almost American players, but like, like they're coming here for that. I think the MKLeo versus Tweak is kind of a big storyline because they've been going back and forth for quite some time. Then MKLeo versus Nairo, assuming Nairo actually gets to MKLeo, that's a big storyline as well. Because they kind of got like a budding rivalry, especially ever since Zero has decided to step down. It's been like, who's going to be the next best? And that was like those three people that everyone thought. Nairo, MKLeo, and Tweak. Outside of that, I mean, we got a couple wild card stories with ESAM, MVD, Anti, and Allied. They all can be anywhere between like 3rd and 49th. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it all depends on what happens when they get up there.
Right. Yeah. Well, let me ask this question here. What's the mood of the community like right now? Obviously, because, I mean, for a while it was the 6th most registered game, but then it jumped up a little bit, towards the end. But, are they all kind of thinking about this? Like maybe this might be Ultimate's last Evo, and I mean Smash 4's last Evo, and they're all looking forward to Ultimate coming out. I mean, how are people approaching this event right now?
If that's not how people are approaching it, I hope they do, because in any other game, when the new one comes out, like that's where we're going. Like, except for Melee, which is its own anomaly. I feel like Melee is just like literally just its own game.
It's definitely
every Smash game has just followed on. Brawl went to Smash 4, and Smash 4 should go to Ultimate, just like Street Fighter 4 went to Street Fighter 5, and all that good stuff. So a lot of people are kind of looking forward to Ultimate, obviously. And I hope that we do get picked up for Evo next year. I feel like Ultimate already has like a strong showing, and on top of that, there's going to be an exhibition for Ultimate at Evo. So like, it's already got people super interested, and people who may not have been interested before may end up being interested by watching the exhibition. A lot of the players in the exhibition never got a lot of time to play with it coming in from the Invitational. They brought it to CEO, and they kind of gave some of the top players some extra time. So
Illuminati stuff. Cool though.
I mean,
I think that's cool actually.
But what's cool about that to me is also just a sign that it sounds like Nintendo is really starting to get a lot more involved, right?
Yeah, no, they seem to be trying to help out. They had us on the Treehouse. They brought a lot of they brought me on for a Nintendo event. I thought I was never going to get a Nintendo event, so that was cool. Yeah, but yeah, they I feel like they're really trying to. I don't know if they're going to do like a circuit or anything, but they're definitely trying to show that they do recognize the Smash community.
Right.
The competitive side of the Smash community is a thing, and they do want to help.
Well, how much do you think that might even have to do with Mewtwo King? Who's like now a product ambassador of Nintendo?
Well, they've been making people product ambassadors for a little while.
Oh, have they? Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, he's one. D1's one. I think the Cat was one.
Yeah.
And there's a couple of them out there. So hopefully they get the game early. Get their. And D1 being one. He's like a prominent member just in Smash community as a whole. So that's good for both Smash and Nintendo to have his face like in the front.
I'm with you. Let's talk about. We talked a little bit about predictions, I guess, but is there anything else that you want to say? I guess you think that MKLeo is going to win?
Yeah, my thing is MKLeo. I think he's going to win, but off of my favorites, I would definitely like to see an Anti win, a Cosmos win, or a Void win, just to see them excel past what they've been excelling. Anti, he's always up and down on where he's going to do. Like the last thing he won, I think was in like March. Cosmos, he had a demon within DeBuzz, who was also another big pick, but a lot of people seem to forget about him because he's so consistent, but he's like never winning. He's always in that second to fourth area. So, but he had a big demon with Cosmos, with DeBuzz, and he's just now recently started beating DeBuzz. So I want to kind of see how that plays out. And then of course Void, that loser run last year just inspired me to want to see him do how he does this year. Hopefully he doesn't have to do it from losers.
Pretty impressive.
But, I want to see how he does this year as well.
Okay.
All right, dude. Is there anything else that you want to talk about or say?
No, just I'm looking forward to Smash Ultimate, and I'll be doing top 8 with EE. So I know a lot of people have been like, "Hey, you guys, the Black Plague hasn't really been commentating so much lately," and that is true. But it's not like we have asked for that. He's busy, I'm busy, but like now we get to do our thing again together. So that's
sick, man. That's awesome. I'm looking forward to that. Do you want to plug anything?
Just follow me on Twitter at TKBreezy. I also stream. I do a lot of variety streams. Sometimes I'll play fighting games. Sometimes I'll play Fortnite. Whatever. You always come hang out. Even if you don't care about the game I'm playing, you can always just come talk to me about random fighting game stuff. Because as most people may or may not know, I'm also doing fighting game commentary now. So the more I get to learn and the faster I get to do it,
good stuff.
the better. Yeah. So
Yeah, I
all.
think that's awesome, man. I'd love to see you commentate other stuff.
Like, which games have you been commentating recently?
Tekken and DBFZ have been the first two I picked up.
Nice.
Very cool.
And then I was looking at BB Tag, but like I feel like I don't know how long that's going to last. That's all. And like so, I don't want to like keep diving into games that like don't stay forever.
I hear you.
You know, it's like I keep
hope it
taking
lasts.
mental space. Basically, I hope it lasts too. It's a fun game. I just don't know how long it's going to last.
All right, fair enough. Give me your stream name. What's the URL?
Oh, it's TKBreezy. Just twitch.tv/TKBreezy.
Easy enough.
Okay.
All right, dude. I appreciate you coming on. Much obliged.
Thanks, man. I'll see you guys at Evo.
All
Have
right.
a good weekend. Well, I'll see you on the stream at Evo. It's a little weird. Yeah, that was very nice of him. You good for the next one here?
Yeah.
All right, cool. I just asked him to get in the chat. He hasn't responded yet.
Okay.
So the following ones that we're going to have are Melee, Tekken, then Marvel, then Dragon Ball FighterZ, then Street Fighter V.
Well, do you want, if we wait for him, we could also just run an ad or something like that if you want to do that.
That actually
right
would
now.
make a lot of sense. Since this dude's taking a little while over there. Let's take a break.
Okay.
And when we come back, we'll get to the Sunday games. I guess is a good way to phrase it. And finish out the night talking about what to expect there.
All right, cool. Be right back, guys. Let's go. There we go. Okay.
Well, all right, everybody, welcome back to the show. Let's continue talking about EVO 2018, and we will do so by now jumping over to the Sunday games. The first one of which is going to be Super Smash Bros. Melee. And to that end, we have invited Toph onto the show. What's up?
That's right.
What's up, David? What's up, James?
Thanks a lot for joining us.
Check you out.
We have a picture of you that looks to me like it's the first fake picture that we've had in the show today. That's somebody else up there. It's not actually Toph.
Yeah, I know, right?
Unfortunate that he's chosen to go this route, but that's his decision, and we'll stick by it.
That's soda. That's soda in that picture.
Oh, okay. How convenient. Cream soda, maybe?
Cream soda.
Okay, cool. Let's talk about Melee at Evo. So let's begin by talking about interesting storylines that we may be privy to.
Yeah, absolutely. So you know what Okay, so I guess when I think about storylines and kind of like what my expectations are, I'm going to go down the bracket and let's also think about the most recent tournament. So low tier City 6.
So I'm just going to say this really quick. Obviously, David is an Armada fan because he has the peach on stream right now. So
I just bit into it. No.
Yeah. Anyways, continue.
I'm going to rest it.
What are James? Who's your favorite? You're a Puff guy, right?
Well, I love Hungrybox.
I'm a Hungrybox fan. That's my guy.
I mean, you remember Toph when Hungrybox won? You saw it. I was like crying for like 15 minutes. Remember? I was like so happy for him.
Yo, that grand finals was actually godlike.
That's my guy.
Grand finals was.
I like.
Yo, can I say like I'm not even an HBox fan. I usually cheer for the other guys against him because I'm a Fox player and I've always been a Fox at heart. But the way he won that grand finals was so hype. Like it was, especially the way he reset the bracket.
Yes.
The bracket reset was like mind blowing levels. Of where he just made 3 fat reads in a row. And it was like, oh.
Got the sleeps, and that was it right there. And I mean, it was really his reaction after he won it, just the shock and falling on the stage that really got to me.
Very good reaction.
But well, I mean,
let's talk about this year, though.
Yeah,
this year, if you're going by the book, man, I mean, you gotta bet on HBox. Like 2016 when he won his first Evo, like he wasn't even considered the best in the world at that point. Mm-hmm. Like he was just kind of on the climb. Right now, like, man, he is solidly number 1 right now. He's the man.
Okay. Because I always found it interesting because for the longest of time, you know, in the GOAT conversation, Mango was always ahead of Armada because he had more Evos. But since then, Armada has caught up and Armada has been winning a lot more, so he's considered the GOAT. Is Hungrybox kind of in that conversation now?
I think now he is. Yeah, okay. I think now he is because the thing is, like, for both Mango and Armada, there was like a 1 year at least to like 2 year stretch where they were just like winning everything, and like every single time they dropped a set to anybody, it was like, oh dang, that's crazy. So HBox is like right there right now. I think we're like, yeah, he had a little bit of a shaky start to the year, but it's still like, I think every other player that's in that echelon, when they go to a tournament, at the back of their mind, they're thinking about like, all right, how do I deal with HBox? It's still the number one topic right now.
Okay.
Yeah. And like right behind him, man, I mean, the field is honestly wide open at least as to that tier of player. Like, so I mean, the last like huge tournament was Genesis, where Plup actually won, and that was sick because that was the first time Plup won a tournament that big.
That's right. Yeah.
And yeah, there's been, ups. I mean, HBox at Smash Summit, the most recent Smash Summit, that was he got 4th. So I mean, he can definitely lose. But like he's fresh off of a sick win at Low Tier City 6 last weekend. He beat both Armada and Leffen, who were both playing like really, really well. So yeah, it's gonna be like the onus is definitely on the field to take it over HBox, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's interesting to me because obviously, for the longest time, it's been the gods. Obviously, PPMD can't play as much anymore. So there's still 4 left, and then Mewtwo King won the summit. So I mean, what are his chances? You feel like to take this whole entire thing?
Oh, that was crazy hype. Like, the thing is, like, Mewtwo King is one of these guys where the stars have to align. Because everyone knows Mewtwo King is, like, I mean, he was the first, like, god. Like, out of the people we call gods today, he was the best first. And, like, everyone knows he can do it, but, like, I don't know, like, he gets, I don't want to say rattled, but, like, he gets kind of out of his element, or, like, the easiest, and he also has like the hardest counters, I feel like, because whereas like Mango, Armada, Leffen, and Plup, they all had periods where they seemed really solid against HBox. Mewtwo King has always had an HBox problem. For example, at the summit, Mewtwo King didn't have to play him. Yeah, he's beaten HBox before, but he's definitely got the worst head-to-head against HBox. He's gonna have to get the luckiest, like the most bracket luck, and that's how he won Smash Summit. He didn't have to fight him.
Gotcha. And also with a player like Plup, he's really kind of, I feel like, gotten himself into that, echelon there. Is there talks of him being like god level at this point in time?
Yeah, he's considered like one of the quote unquote like new gods. He's in that. He's definitely like in that pantheon now. Like they built him a little chair, and he's kicking it with the rest of them.
Nice.
Yeah. For a moment, like if he had won, what was it? There was the next big tournament after Genesis, I think in March or April, was EGLX Canadian tournament, and he almost won that. And if he had won that, he would have had 2 back-to-back super majors wins in a row, and like he probably would have at that point been seeded first going into tournaments. So like he was right there. Like, he was right at that threshold.
Okay, and then obviously I have to ask about Leffen, because the guy has been concentrating a lot on Dragon Ball recently. So what's his status right now? Are people considering maybe he'll be a little rusty, or just because he hasn't had as much practice, or what's the situation with Leffen?
With Leffen, dude, I gotta say, first and foremost, like, as I love watching Dragon Ball. Like, I watch basically every big tournament. Like, I was just glued to my couch for the Summit of Power. Yeah, like, I think I'll just say that every Melee player, like, loves watching Leffen in that game. Because for all of us, it's like a validation. Like, yeah, we could be good at other games if we wanted to.
We're not surprised
just,
me.
Frauds.
No, I mean, I've seen him play Marvel 3 in the past. I've seen him play Street Fighter in the past. He's legit, dude.
Yeah. So that's true. Actually, he has a very rich
he's been playing other stuff.
He plays a lot of video games. Like he was good at like Overwatch, for example.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Sure.
No surprise there. Yeah.
Right. So predictions for him going into the tournament. I mean, so at Low Tier City 6, he actually did send HBox to losers.
Okay.
And HBox kind of clawed his way back to beat him in 2 sets in grands. Leffen's looking fine, man. Like he beat Armada, and then HBox, he. I think that how do I put it with Leffen? I feel like he likes to complain, but if he actually just plays, if he doesn't complain, he can do anything.
Okay.
But sometimes I don't know if he gets in his own head. I will say this, for some people, if they start complaining, it ruins their mentality. I do feel like he can both complain and operate at a high level of intensity. You know what I mean?
There's definitely some people, when they get mad, they play better. I mean, that just
does exist.
So
if he's, I mean, I personally think it's not that big a deal. I think he'll be just fine playing both Dragon Ball and Melee. But I mean, the ball's in his court. Like, if he lets it get to him somehow, if he says, "Oh, I got this scheduling, difficulty or that. I have to wake up early for one or the other. Like, we'll see. We'll see. But that being said, like, if he actually, I think, is one of the few people that can both complain and get the job done. So.
Okay. Well, so the last question I have, I mean, I'm sorry if I'm focusing on the gods here all the time, but
absolutely.
What about Armada and Mango? I mean, do you think Mango could come back and take another Evo,
Dude, Mango's a wild card. Like, yeah, it kind of just, I mean, like, last Evo he almost won. Like, he got second, and he was kind of, people were calling him washed, this and that.
Right.
Mango can always just win. Like, Mango has this, like, he's like he plays very differently than most of the other gods. And he's, like, always coming up with, like, new setups and new creative stuff. Like, if you watch his stream, he definitely has the highest percent. Like, Armada is known for, like, every combo Armada does is the same. Like, he is the Armada flowchart. He's going to hit you with the book and you're going to die. Mango, every time he hits you, like, you don't know what's going to happen. But, like, he finds a way to make it work. And, like, yeah, I think he can definitely win. And Armada, same way. I think that, like, Armada and Mango both have a decent shot at, like, they both have a pretty good head-to-head against HBox. I would say that Armada, like, getting third at Low Tier City 6 behind Leffen and HBox, like, it wasn't, like, they were 3-2 losses. Like, he didn't look washed or anything like that. It was close.
Okay.
So and then yeah, Mango's just a wild card. It's hard to say. The one thing that's new about Mango this year compared to years past is he seems to have completely dropped the Fox. He's going solo Falco now.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah, and like it was kind of a heartbreaker for him because at Smash Summit 6, a couple months ago, in pools of the event, he beat both HBox and Armada in Falco Puff and Falco Peach, which are matchups he never used to play, and everyone was like mind blown. But then he didn't really pull it together in bracket. So yeah, time will tell. I guess we'll find out what happens.
Okay. And is there anybody that you talked about Plup a little bit and then how he's become so strong? Is there anybody else that you're looking for who might have that kind of a big performance on the stage?
I think you got to give it to Wizzy and Zane right now, man. So, like, Wizzy...
I see those names in chat all over the place right now, yeah.
Yeah, dude, everyone's Zane's stock is rising, man. If you're looking to invest, like, Zane's stock is rising right now because a year ago, like, not even considered probably I got to think about my timeline here. But yeah, like, 2 years ago, pretty much a nobody. Like, year ago, like, breaking into, like, the top 30 or whatever, and, like, now he's just, like, constantly beating top, like, he's solidly top 10 right now, especially if you put him up against a space animal, like he can beat Mango any day of the week. He could definitely beat, like, Leffen was one of his first really big wins.
Dang, all right.
And, like, the thing is, we haven't really seen him perform at quite that level against the floaties, so in particular, Armada and HBox could be a thorn in his side, but yeah, I think if he can hone those matchups and get that, because those matchups are very, like, neutral based versus the space animal matchups and, like, the fast forward matchups are very, like, pretty much combo oriented. And for someone like Zane, yeah, Zane is like a combo genius. Like, he can always, if you're a Fox or Falco and he touches you, you just die.
Dang, all right.
So he's got to get if he can get his neutral game on that PPMD level, which is when people think, like, Marths was, like, really rock solid neutral games, it's always PPMD is, like, the first name in the list. If he can get to that level, like, he can easily, I think he could reach God status for sure. Wizzy,
dang, all right.
Wizzy's also another guy that, like, first of all, Wizzy has the best head-to-head against HBox out of any of these guys. Like,
okay.
Fortunately for HBox, the seeding is working out that he doesn't have to play Wizzy in quarters, because if he did, that's actually a really stressful situation for HBox.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who does Wizzy use again? I'm sorry.
Captain Falcon.
Oh, okay.
Captain Falcon. And he's from Florida. He's from Orlando. He's same region as HBox.
Interesting.
So he's got a lot of, like, very specific HBox-specific, Puff-specific knowledge. He's just so much better at that matchup than anyone has ever played it.
Okay.
And he won a tournament. I don't remember what the tournament was, but him and HBox both went to Optic Arena. He just won the tournament over HBox. Like, he beat him in 2 sets, clean.
Wow, sick.
So he could for sure do it. Like, if HBox, like, runs into Wizzy somehow, like, he might get knocked out of the tournament early for sure.
Wow.
Okay. Well, let me ask a question here, because I saw someone mention him in chat, and He's just one of my favorite players all the time, and that's of course Amsa, right? Amsa Yoshi. I mean, like, do you feel like outside of, obviously, of course, Armada and Leffen, like, what do you feel like outside of the United States? Like, is there anyone from Asia coming that's a threat in Melee?
Amsa is definitely the first name that comes to mind, and like, you got to give him props, by the way. Like, here's the quick story of Amsa, basically. Like, he came to the U.S. for the first time in, like, 2014. Now, mind you, I lived in Japan for a year, and this was in, like, 2010, 2011. So I knew all the top players, and when Amsa came to the U.S., I was like, well, I don't know this guy. This guy's super new school. And he came, and, like, he took a game off Mewtwo King, his very first American tournament. Dang. And at the time, you know, everyone was like, oh, okay, well, this guy's sick. Like, he's a sick Yoshi. He's got all this tech, blah, blah, blah. But it's a gimmick, right? Like, people are going to figure out Yoshi. And then a year passes, and he's still beating top players. It's like, all right, well, yeah, but America still doesn't have that much Yoshi practice. Like, you know, we're going to figure this out. Next year, he comes back. He's still beating top players. It's like, all right, now it's starting to look real. And we're in 2018, and he's actually going to get ranked top 10 this year. Like, no doubt about it.
Yeah? Okay.
Summit. He's top 10 in the world right now.
Nice.
He doesn't drop sets to people outside of the top 10. He took a set off HBox, which is best of 5 set, which is crazy. Still solid versus Mewtwo King. So, like, Amsa for sure is just like a threat. Like, he, I don't think he can win. Like, well, I don't know. I don't want to say because anything's possible, but it doesn't seem like he'll win the tournament. But like, he's always like, he might pull that upset. He's scary.
But man,
other Asian players like.
If Amsa wins Melee, though, it'd be like, man, Japan takes another game.
that would be crazy. That would be nuts. That would be nuts.
Oh man.
There are other Japanese players that are coming. The thing to Japan that was just interesting was that in the Melee to Brawl transition, America, where a lot of players stuck it out in Melee and kept playing Melee. In Japan, culturally, like, for whatever reason, a lot of their Melee players actually went to Brawl. So. That's why they have a much richer like Smash 4 and they're gonna and soon to be Smash Ultimate history than in Melee. Yeah, so but that being said, like there are some sleeper hitters. Rudolph is a favorite. He's got a really weird seeding style if you've seen him. Don't know if he's coming to Evo though, but yeah. I mean, Amsa is basically the main one to watch out for.
Okay. Cool. Well, anything else? Like, what are your predictions? Who do you think is gonna take it?
Who do I think is going to take? Man, if I was putting money on it, I would say HBox, especially like the way the seeding is because he doesn't have to run into Wizzy. Like if he had to run into Wizzy in quarters, in other words, if Wizzy was seeded 8th or 9th instead of 7th, then like I would be more iffy. But yeah, HBox I think is the safest bet for sure right now.
See a lot of upset people in the chat, right?
Let's go.
Yeah,
let's go.
Like, that being said, though, dude, it could go a lot of different ways.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
All right, man. Anything else to say?
Not really. I mean, if I'll do my quick little plug.
Please plug.
Check out the twitch.tv/ I think it's Ludwig Ogren for Scar versus Fendi Saturday night 7:30 p.m. That's about it. We're doing our little salty sweet.
Nice.
I think that's just going to be fun. So it's just good. I think that's just going to be a super entertaining stream.
Awesome. And you'll be commentating Melee, obviously, at Evo, correct?
Yep.
Have fun, man.
Cool.
Will do. Hope to see you guys. Well, I'm sure I will.
Well, I won't, because I won't be there.
That's true. Damn it.
Stop doing that.
Have a good time.
I'll see you soon anyway.
Yeah,
okay.
I'm sure we'll see each other soon.
All right.
Thanks again. Get out of here.
All right, man.
Peace. Thanks.
All right.
Wait, is he still there? Wait, were you?
Wait, is Scar
I'm
gonna
still
win?
here.
Oh,
What's the question?
Is Scar gonna win?
This is what I'm gonna say. This is all I'm gonna say. Fendi is not as good as you guys think he is, and Scar is better than you guys think he is.
Okay, is Scar gonna win?
I think Scar's gonna win.
Oh.
What is it? What is it to?
I think we're gonna do first to 5.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm saying Scar alongside. He beat Ken, got him to Evo. He's got that history, especially against Marth. You guys are gonna be surprised.
What year was that in?
It was a couple years ago, but trust me, man.
couple.
We'll wait and see.
Okay.
Put it this way: I'm a big believer in old man strength. All right.
Okay. Yeah, there you go. I like where you're thinking. Let's go, Scott.
Can go full-time pro gamer in however old he is. Like, dude, anything's possible.
Okay.
Right,
Fair enough. All right, buddy. Thank you.
All right. Peace.
That man said a couple of years ago. All right, well, we're going to move on. The next game that we'll be talking about is Tekken 7, and for that, we have invited on Rickstah. What up, man? Are you in the chat?
Yo, how's it going?
Hey, thanks a lot, Ricky. Appreciate it.
No problem.
All right, so we got Rick here. Now, I just want hang on, let me change his name really quick. Hang on. I'll fix this. I'll show you. Okay, but you're on Twitter. You're Rick Steezy, right? So there you go.
Yes, sir. You cut off the best picture.
Yeah, but see,
Also, I think it's 3 E's.
Is it 3 E's? Okay.
Yes.
But here's the thing. Oh, there's
two separate pictures.
Yeah, I had to put it in 2 separate pictures. There's the truth right
Just leave it there.
That's the truth right there. Is the feet on the box.
Just leave it there.
The feet.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay. I'll leave the feet on the box. There you go. I mean, I could zoom the pic out. I could.
Just zoom it out.
All right.
We got to give it. Let the people feel like I'm way shorter than I actually am. Although,
well,
yeah, there's no saving me from that one.
No.
You go ahead and start talking. I'm working on the picture.
All right. Okay.
Here,
Fine. Hey, let's get into Tekken at Evo. I want to begin by talking about interesting storylines that we should watch out for.
Well, the biggest story for this is kind of unfortunate, but Nee, who is the #1 placer in the Tekken World Tour, is not going to Evo, unfortunately.
What?
I think he decided, he was tired from all the traveling he did earlier in the year, so he never signed up. He never planned to go after, I think, Combo Breaker even. So he hasn't been to, too many events lately. And so with no Nee, it's kind of up in the air as to who's going to win, because the Tekken World Tour this year has been crazy in terms of the amount of people that have been winning. There's been 18 events so far. Nee's won 4 of them. And he's only entered, I think 6. It's like his winning ratio is super crazy. There's only 2 other people that have won multiple, which is Tishuman, who's won 3 all in Europe, and he's not going either. And only the last person is Saint, who's won 2. Outside of those, there have been 9 winners, 9 other champions. So in terms of
that's pretty cool.
In terms of who's the favorite to win, it's up in the air. I mean, because Nee's been the most dominant this year, and he's not going. Tishuman's been dominant in his region, but he's not coming. And then, last year we obviously had the Echo Fox, the JDCR Saint show throughout the world, but they've been kind of inconsistent this year.
It hasn't been.
Now,
I know when Saint just won the last tournament, that was I felt like that was actually kind of a big deal for Saint, right?
It was the first one, I think, since NCR. So that was he's the only one that's going to be at Evo with multiple Tekken World Tour victories. So it's a big storyline, because now we don't know who really is the favorite. I think a lot of people have their own particular interest and favorites, but the record is not there for anyone really.
Wow, okay.
I mean, and the other storyline is the huge number of Japanese players coming. I think it was reported over 50 players signed up from Japan for Evo for Tekken.
Dang.
And if I go down the list, it's I could talk about all these players for a while. I mean, there's a ton of them. But if I were just to talk about select few, Noroma, he's been the most consistent Japanese player. He'll be coming. This will be his first Evo. There have been other few first-time Evo players, Kari. He's one of the best Yoshimitsus in Japan. The one I'm particularly excited for is Hakayo, who is one of the best. He's basically known as the Japanese king. And personally, I think that the best in the world is pretty much between him or Little Majin in America.
Ooh,
so I think
okay.
Yeah, and they're both going to be entering too, so it's going to be interesting. One of the other players too is Kagemaru from Japan. He had one of the most epic sets ever in Master Cup last year when he reverse OCV Team Yamasa.
That's right.
That was awesome.
Yes. So this will be his first year at Evo, and it's crazy. That's 4 of 50 people from Japan. Damn. And I can keep going on and on. And
who would you say is the biggest dark horse of those Japanese players?
Oh man, it's everyone really. There's I guess Kagemaru is probably up there, and Hakayo I would definitely say is a dark horse, just because not too many people are familiar with his name. Especially because trying to find a match of his on the internet, his name's all in kanji. No one knows that, so it's like they're not going to search for it. So no one knows what who he is or what he looks like. But he's definitely a threat, I believe. But the craziest thing about this so far is I feel like there is no guaranteed like this person's going to make top 8. I can't guarantee one person. If you tell me this person's guaranteed to make top 8, I can show you, evidence from a previous tournament of them missing top 8.
Even JDCR, huh?
Yeah, JDCR. I mean, he's only won one event this year. It's quite surprising from him. But yeah, the only event he won was the Korean Masters, which Ni did not enter.
Right.
So there's a lot of weird, little storylines going on. If I were to talk about the Korea region, also, there's a few players coming for the first time. The first on Low High is coming for the first time, as well as Rangchu. Rangchu is the Panda player that is sponsored, and he's been doing really well in these Tekken World Tour events. I believe he got second at one event. Not sure which one, but he's pretty much almost been consistently top 8. He's missed out on a few, but for a Panda player, I think he's catching a lot of people by surprise.
Right.
And one other guy is Secret. He's a Josie player from Korea, and I believe that he was the first highest ranked, I think Tekken God on PC, the legit one, not the the spammy cheater. Bootleg guys. He was the first legit one.
Yeah.
He did all in Korea, so he's definitely someone to look out for. And I mean, I can keep going on and on and on. America.
I mean, in Korea, are John Ding and Kakoma and all those guys showing up and everything?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Everyone that we've seen on the tour, pretty much, outside of Ni and Chanel, are probably going to be showing up. So JDCR, Saint, Kudons, John Ding, Kakoma, Dimeback. The normals we normally see. The Americas, however, we're going to see some players that we haven't seen in quite some time. I said Majin earlier. I think this is his first Evo for Tekken 7. Really? So that'll be interesting to see because he had such a great showing at CEO his last tournament. Jimmy J Tran, Mr. Naps, Emphy, how many dumb names he goes by. He's going to be showing up. I believe this is his first one since 2015.
Okay.
So really, I think a lot of people see him as the best American player, and so we'll see how he does. Evo is always, no matter what, Evo's so hard. And then you have the obvious like Anakin's, the Joey Fury, Speed Kicks, Cuddle Cores, etc. There's a ton of great talent in America that are going to be playing, as well as a few from what I'm excited about is from Southeast Asia. One guy, Book, is from Thailand, and he beat Ni at the Thailand tournament to win it. So he's going to be pretty interesting to watch as a Jin player, as well as Dojin. Dojin is actually here in the SoCal right now. He's from the Philippines, one of the best Filipino players, and he had a great showing last year. Yeah,
he played at Wednesday Night Fights just this past week, right?
He was at the Super Arcade tournament, actually.
Oh, the Super Arcade tournament. That's what it was. Okay.
Yeah. And so, the interesting thing about him is that he plays a ton of characters. So it's always interesting to see what character he's going to be pulling out. There's a handful of players from Australia. One of the best Australian players is Dion. He's a Jack player. As well as Venezuela is going to be showing up with El Negro, a Master Raven player.
Cool. And nice. That is a
and Europe is showing up a little bit as well. I don't think there's that many Europeans coming this time, but I think the players that are coming, Super Akuma, he's I think the highest ranked European that's not Tishimon, as well as Fergus. And Tekken Master.
Super Akuma, we saw that Kuwait.
Yeah, I think that's where the bulk of his points come from, is from the tournament win in Kuwait.
Yeah.
So this is going to be a crazy tournament, man. I can't even begin to imagine.
I have to ask you about one particular player. What do you think the chances are that Bronson Tran comes and makes top 8?
0%. He's already said that he's not going.
Okay.
He's an old man. He doesn't want to go to tournaments. I think he gets more mad that when he doesn't go because he has to watch Jimmy, and then he gets super emotional whenever Jimmy plays.
Okay. But I mean, the thing about it is,
they're brothers.
If Bronson doesn't play, how am I going to put him in an Evo DVD trailer getting bodied again? I mean,
You could just replay the 2005 one over and over.
I guess that's true. Yeah. Okay.
That's one of my favorite trailers of all time. Just watch. I repeat that moment. That round lasted 4 seconds, and it was the 4 best seconds on that trailer.
Dude, it's so funny. It just happens. Like every trailer I made to show off one player, they're bodying poor Bronson.
That's funny.
Oh man. But well, let me ask you this. Obviously, Tekken, look, it's dominated by Asia, right? It's Korea, Japan, et cetera. How many Americans do you think are going to make top 8 at Evo? Do you think any of the Americans have a chance to get into like top 4 or anything?
That's, to be honest, it's tough, but I think it's doable. I think that we can see maybe 2 or 3 Americans in top 8. I don't know which ones. You just have to have a really good day. And it's hard to even like try to figure out who's the favorite from Japan or from Korea to even make top 8. So this is going to be an interesting one because I don't think anyone has any idea who's gonna, what the top 8 bracket's gonna look like. And there's gonna be a lot of upsets and a lot of new characters that we haven't seen in top 8s, I believe.
Yeah, and one of the biggest stories, obviously, this year is that this was the one game that increased in entrants from last year to this year, right?
Yeah, it has 1,538 entrants.
Right, I think last year was like 1,200 or something like that. So what do you think the chances are, with this influx of Tekken players? Do you feel like that there might be an unknown that just like shows up and all of a sudden just starts upsetting people all over the place?
To be honest, that's hard. In Tekken, that's one of the hardest things to do.
Fair enough.
You have to be unknown for 5 years, then be good for like 2 months, and then everyone starts to recognize who you are, and then all of a sudden, then you get good.
Right.
So, but you know what? Like an unknown, it might be an unknown from Japan. Could be, because they came so deep. So. It might be unknown to us, but they know all about it. So,
well, talk a little bit about how it feels as a long-time Tekken player. Tekken had a real downturn for a while compared to other games, but it's right up at the top again. How does that feel for the scene?
It's amazing. I can't even begin to describe like how shocked I was, to be honest, to even hear that they surpassed the numbers from last year. I thought that we would have a slight downfall, but I thought it'd still be a good number. But to hear 1,500, and Evo has no Tekken World Tour points. It has nothing to do with the Tekken World Tour at all. This is just Evo. So that was super shocking to me. But it shows, people, respect Evo as the biggest fighting game tournament in the world, and the numbers show up. And so I'm excited, and I'm excited to do commentary. I'm also doing commentary.
That's awesome, man. Are you playing too?
Yes.
Yeah. So I was just about to ask, what are your chances of making top 8?
Pretty good.
All right, I like it. Let's do it.
I just need a box everywhere I go, and then I'll be
Oh, man.
All right. Anything else to talk about?
I think that's it, man. I'm just excited for the amount of international players that we get to watch on stream, especially for the lesser known, international players that will be coming. I think that we give a good chance to showcase their skills, and hopefully, they can get sponsored and come out to more events. So this will be a good test actually for Americans, because this has been the longest we've had the game so far, and a year and a half. A little over a year we've had the game, so I think that now we've kind of closed the gap just a little bit, and so hopefully,
right, because all the previous Evo Tekken 7s have always been either, you guys could only play it at the Wizard World events, and or last year it hadn't even been out for just only a few months, right, before you guys had a chance to play it, and so this is like the first time that the U.S. players have had it for an extended period of time.
Right. Yeah, so this will be interesting to see if the American players can, kind of not get the whole America is free type of thing. At least get one win in top 8. One win in top 8 would be nice.
Nice.
All right, well, before we let you go, I know that you said that you expect it to be kind of difficult to call and who's going to make it top 8, and there's been a lot of different results and so forth. Who wins Tekken 7 at EVO?
Man.
Do it!
You know what?
You can't leave until you give us an answer.
Do it!
And no Tasty Steves, okay? Don't be like, well, my pick would be these 4 people, okay? Like, no Tasty Steves.
Man, man. All right, I'm the most consistent Korean right now has been John Ding as of late, so it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough because he plays some whack characters. I'm going to go John Ding because he's been so good lately. And so,
all right, man.
It'll be tough for him, but, I got to throw it out there.
All right.
Well, is there anything that you want to plug before you get out of here?
Yeah, just follow me on Twitter and Twitch at Rickstah. It's on the screen right now, and that's about it. You guys will see me at EVO. If you guys see me, say hi.
All right.
Sounds good, man. Thanks a lot. Really appreciate it. Good luck, too.
Thank you.
Have fun.
It's true. I didn't get a chance to ask him what my chances at EVO will be in Tekken. No, I was kidding. It's not. Someone in the chat said my king is going to win EVO.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
2 years down the road.
That's actually the biggest vote of confidence I've ever heard. Thank you, David.
Yeah, all right. Well,
I'm going to cry now.
pretty low bar.
Oh, man.
Okay. Hey, thanks a lot to Rickstah for helping us out.
Absolutely.
We are going to... So as I said before, we're mostly talking about the Sunday games right now, but we're also going to go back and talk about one of the side tournament games. We're going to talk about Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. We had to wait a little while for Persia to make sure that she could be in the chat. She had some stuff to do earlier today, and is currently not getting in the chat as well.
Oh, is she not here right now?
Well...
Persia.
She's around.
Where are you? Sam.
She was definitely talking in there before.
Do you want to run another break while we wait for her to show up? Or we could do another ad real quick?
I guess let's do that.
All right, cool.
All right, we're going to take a very short break. We'll be back in just a little bit.
All right, be right back, guys.
Hey, all right, welcome back to the show. We'll continue to talk about EVO 2018. Hopefully we'll talk about Marvel in just a little bit, but first we're going to switch it up and we're going to go over to Dragon Ball FighterZ.
Yeah, we're waiting for Persia to show up, so instead we're going to switch over and run real quick to Dragon Ball FighterZ with our guest, Sajam!
Sajam, welcome, Sajam.
Hey, how's it going? How you guys doing?
Doing great.
Oh, man. You look a little blue today. I don't know. I'm just like, are you feeling like the too many Gokus right now?
Too many? It's fantastic. I just figured that was the best picture, right? Even though there won't be probably that many Gokus in top 8. But, I mean, it depends on if you count Bardock or Cell as like a 16th part Goku. It just really depends.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, thanks a lot for joining us. Much obliged, man. Let's get into it by talking about the storylines going into EVO.
Yeah, I mean, Dragon Ball is such an interesting game because it's been a game of contested results, right? It's not the game where like one scene or one country is just beating down anybody else, and even like not one player. Even though it started off sort of as the Goichi show, if you look at the big events that have happened for this game so far, right? We had final round where Goichi got the W over Sonic Fox. They had that big exhibition. They fought in the blue hallway, right? They threw down in that blue hallway. Yep, Goichi got the W. But ever since the accursed esports blue hallway, he really hasn't had the same kind of domination that he's had before. Right after that, Sonic Fox got the W over at Combo Breaker, right? He beat Goichi in Grand Finals. Hook Gang God wins the Summit over Sonic Fox himself. And it was kind of looking like America was impressive, right? America had that Grand Finals in the Summit where they played against each other. Oh, wait a minute. They're saying I'm echoing.
Yeah. Are you echoing?
It might just be because it's coming over the microphone over here. So go ahead and try again. See if it's a little better. So
too many Gokus.
Too many Sajams, yeah.
Goku.
Yeah, okay, there we go.
The better.
Is that too low?
Okay, cool.
No, well, the people are hearing it direct feed.
Oh, sick. Okay,
good.
So, all right. Okay, anyway, cool. Let's move on.
That's for you, basically.
Yeah. Anyway, how we got here. Goichi wins final round. Sonic Fox wins Combo Breaker. Hook Gang God wins Summit, and that was an America Grand Finals, right? Which is like a big deal. It was like, oh man, America Grand Finals in an anime game, essentially, right? Which is what a lot of people kind of classify Dragon Ball as, is sort of unheard of. You know what I mean?
Maximum man. Yeah.
But you go into CEO, and the USA, they have a bunch of qualifiers for top 8. It's the usual suspects. They get absolutely destroyed. It was just a complete beatdown, right?
0-12. 0-12.
Yeah, not a single W in the top 8 for the USA. Top 4 is all Japan. But what's amazing about that event is that East Japan shows up strong with Kazunoko taking out all of the Cyclops Osaka crew and getting the W there, right? Which is a big deal. That the rivalry in Japan between East Japan, West Japan is obviously a big deal in a lot of games. You're going to see it if you watch Guilty Gear this weekend, most likely, right? That's going to be a big thing that's constantly talked about. But that was a crazy win. And then right after that, the USA strikes back, right? They decide that they're going to host their own summit. Sonic Fox hosts the summit of Power, where he invites all the top players in the US over to his place, and they just like boot camped like crazy, which ended up having Versus Fighting. It was the last big tour event that we got to see, where Sonic Fox runs in with a new team, right? Brand new team. He's playing Bardock, Zamas 16, and just dunks everybody.
Right. He looked
completely. Yeah, he completely destroyed Dogra, as he usually tends to do. Beats Goichi in the grand final. Sage gets 4th place at that event. He looks really impressive off the summit as well. So it was like a really big step up for the US. But as far as, you know, the contested results go, it's been so back and forth. Not anybody can kind of secure the consistent wins. But what's most exciting for me is that we know about all the players in the West, right? From the US, from Europe, all over that part of the world. But Japan is sending just like a death squad to Evo. They have so many talented players. If you guys watch the Fighting Tuesday streams that is on UNIST stream every week, Tokyo in particular has really, really strong scenes, and they've had players from Central Japan showing up and just absolutely, they're so impressive. They have such talented players. Like if you go through the archives, if you go back and watch those events, they're super impressive. You can also watch Cyclops Osaka weekly streams. They're incredible. I still think overall the strongest players in Japan, top 4, is still the Cyclops 3, Fenrich, Dogra, Goichi, and Kazunoko. Still strongest 4 players overall, and I think that was a big deal. We just saw in Japan there was this big 3v3v3v3, 4 teams, and it was representing different regions of Japan. It just happened. It was with Tokyo, Central Japan, Osaka, which is West Japan, and then like a special team that was kind of assorted from just random kind of strong players. And Cyclops Osaka, they dunked everybody besides basically Kazunoko. That was like their biggest challenge at that event.
Gotcha.
But as far as some of the Japanese players to watch out for, Goichi talked about the Ginyu Force that is coming. There's 3 really strong Ginyu players, and Superboy, who a lot of people are probably familiar with back from when he played Marvel 3. He's a really talented player. He's been good at a lot of games. Dempa and Aqua, all 3 of them are really strong Japanese players. And you know, when it comes to like the normal players to watch coming into this, you know, this is probably the most stacked lineup we've seen of Japanese players so far. Besides, you know, Kazunoko, the Cyclops boys we talked about, of course, there's always Moke. There's Soji, the BlazBlue player, who's been he got brought up actually when BB Tag was being talked about. He's been focusing super hard on Dragon Ball. He's a really impressive player. Kubo, Galileo, of course, is there, which if you guys are BlazBlue fans, you've seen him play before. They have really, really strong players, man. And I think that everybody has kind of been talking about this, that it's pretty likely that there's at least 1 to 2 Japanese players that most people are like, I have no idea who this guy is. Like, what is he doing in the top 8? And the coolest part about that to me is that the Japanese players who are coming that are not the usual 4 play really different teams. They play a lot of, like, you'll see some Ginyu, you'll see some Teen Gohan, you'll see characters like Vegito, just characters that you don't normally see so much. So the kind of like, there's 12 characters in the Dragon Ball top 8 with between 8 players, you know what I mean, in a 3v3 game. It might not be as like kind of, you know, common when we look at the top 8, but
well,
you know,
I mean, so that's my question though, because like almost all the events that we've seen, it's always been the usual suspects in top 8, like repeatedly, right? Regardless of who wins. Do you feel like here at Evo we're gonna see like how many people do you think are gonna be like you know, quote unknowns, you know, just unknown to the community kind of thing?
I think probably 1 to 2 is what I expect. Like 1 to 2 kind of surprise picks, maybe 1 from Japan, maybe 1 from somewhere else in the world, that people are like, yeah, we kind of know about that guy, but you know, maybe like the general community hasn't seen them play as much as like the normal people. Obviously in the West, some of the normal people you're talking about here, Sonic Fox, obviously, I think coming into this, potentially the favorite after that win at Versus Fighting and Combo Breaker. his record against Goichi. I think if he doesn't run into maybe Kazunoko or Fenrich in particular, like he has a positive record against everybody else. Hook Gang God, who was at the summit, also really leveled up. He got the summit a power win. This is a big tournament for him to bounce back after CEO. There's Big Leffen, obviously had that crazy set with Goichi back at CEO. The sizable Swede is like, I can't believe how good he is, right? Like he's played a lot of other fighting games you guys mentioned earlier. He was good at Marvel 3. He played MVCI. He played KOF. He played Street Fighter 4. He was like a Yun player. Like he's played so many games before besides just Melee.
For sure.
He's super talented. Apology Man, who was in top 8 of CEO as well. He was in top 8 of the summit. He's so good. Reynold, the Master Troll, Evo champion for KOF.
That'd be awesome.
Well, what about the Kill Sage? Do you think this could be like, I mean, obviously this guy is super good and he's won like NLBCs over Sonic Fox and such, but do you think this could be like a breakout like tournament win for him?
I mean, I don't think there's anything breakout about it. Like the dude is top 4 versus fighting. He's had like, he's one of those guys that probably doesn't always place as well as he should, but he's always like at that level, you know? I think that it's going to be tough. Like he has to show up and get big wins against players that I think are going to give him trouble. Players like, I think, Fenrich or Goichi or even Sonic, because they played together so much, right? Like I think all of those are kind of players that give him trouble. But him making a deep run in the bracket would not surprise me at all. Like he's so good. And then you got players like Super Noon, who just won Pasadena Regionals against Reynold in the grand finals. The ever stable Chris G, right? Evo champion himself. He's always so solid. You got Nokil from the Pacific Northwest. Alioun, who plays an extremely unorthodox team, kind of like Breaker Dave, right? Alioun is from Europe, of course, from France, and Breaker Dave from SoCal. Both of them play Fat Boo, just like a really like less common characters. So I think people might be kind of surprised. I think that's a great like first year at Evo bulldozer tournament. You know what I mean? He's like a character that could just maul people in pools, and people are like, I've never fought a good Fat Boo in my life.
Well, let me ask this then. I saw MajinObama in the chat saying that he thinks that Ginyu is going to make top 8. That one of the Ginyu teams is going to make top 8. What's your pick for most likely like unsuspecting non-top tier characters?
The weirdos.
Yeah, the weirdos, the kind of upset people.
Yeah, I think my pick is probably Ginyu also, because I think Ginyu is top tier.
Oh, really?
You think he's top tier?
Yeah, I think he's very good.
Wow.
I think he's one of the best point characters in the game. Like, so the thing about like Ginyu is that he is like surprisingly underrated, but now that people are like optimizing his routes and his pressure, like they've realized just how strong some of the Ginyu Force options are. Like it's absurd. Like obviously people know about Jace Birder being really good when they just flood the screen and everybody just gets smoked. But Goldo is incredibly good as well, the little green fella, because like he doesn't have the normal cross-up protection that assists do. So like when you snare dash over him, the mix-ups are messed up. Like Raccoon Beam is like great. It's like the longest beam. It's so easy to confirm. You can run full screen and then like 2H and combo off of it. Like his assists are incredibly strong. And if you pit that up with other lockdown assists, like he's an extremely oppressive character.
Okay.
All right.
So yeah, I mean, if Superboy or Dempa or Aqua or like some Ginyu player shows up and makes top 8, like Double L or something, I don't know if Double L is actually Ginyu. Like if one of them made top 8, I wouldn't be that surprised.
Okay. Well, I mean, there's now the magical question at this point, right? Number 1, who takes it? And 2, how many like US/Japan players are in top 8?
Man.
Well, let me start you with an easier question then. Is there anyone who's not going to be from US or Japan in top 8?
Is there anybody not going to be from US or Japan? I think it's like if we saw like a Leffen or an Alioun or like a surprise pick from like South America or something, like I wouldn't be that surprised.
Okay.
But I think I expect the split to be something like maybe 5-3 Japan US or like 5 Japanese, like 2 American, 1 like somebody from like Europe or something like that.
Parts elsewhere.
I think that's about the split. At Combo Breaker and CEO, the split was 4-4, 4 US, 4 Japan.
Yeah. Hey, is Xerox going from Europe? Do you know?
Xerox is actually such a great question. I know that he was at Versus Fighting and he had like a really great finish there.
Yeah, he's really good.
He's super impressive. If he is there, I didn't see him in like the top 100 seeded players. Like I was like looking through all the pools. So yeah, I'd be surprised if he wasn't seated that high. But he's incredibly good.
Yeah.
But as far as tournament winners go, This is a messed up question, dude.
Yeah, man. We've done this to everybody,
Look,
man.
that's why we invite other people on to ask them the hard questions.
Yeah, exactly. So we don't have to pick.
Yeah, like, man, if I was gonna pick somebody just based on consistency lately, and the fact that his team is so surprising, like he has such an unusual team, I'd say Sonic Fox probably. Just because I think his new team is so uniquely Sonic Fox, right? Like, he's so good at exploring characters that lots of people don't play.
Well,
and I think he's really done that with Zamos. So I think he has a good chance. But if not Sonic Fox, I think my bet is actually not
Are you pulling
Goichi.
a Tasty Steve on us right here? You giving us
no.
2 answers?
I don't know what you're talking about. Look, man. But like, dude. I'm just such a big fan of all these. Dude.
Let me ask you this question though, really quick though, because like it was obviously at the Summit of Power, Japan got kind of surprised by Piccolo. It looked like, but then they obviously studied the character and could fight him.
Right.
Do you feel like that they're going to go back and study Zamasu and not be as surprised by it this time?
I think that's definitely likely. It's just the problem with Sonic Fox is that he is the king of scrambles. Like he just makes mistakes and then there's a scramble after, and he just wins.
Right.
So you can't really fix someone. Like you can't really train. It's really hard to train for someone who just is really good at RPS and really good at changing his defensive and offensive sequences and patterns.
Yeah.
Like he's
Crazy
so incredibly
defense, too.
unpredictable in the choices he makes on both sides of like the coin, right? Like he's the guy in MKX when you counter poke with like a down 1, he doesn't do like reversal down 1. He does like reversal command throw or like reversal overhead. Like he's one of those guys where like, you know, playing RPS against that guy sounds miserable. You know?
For sure. For sure.
So yeah, I mean, I think he has a good chance just because he's so focused on it.
Okay.
But you know, Japan they're the best for a reason, right? They're so dangerous.
Makes sense.
Okay.
Anything else you want to bring up?
Yeah, if you guys want to prepare for EVO, if you guys are interested in watching some of the strong Japanese players that I brought up, check out Fighting Tuesday tonight on UNIST stream. It's Anime Illuminati. I'm sure Obama will be over there as well. That stream is always criminally underwatched by, I think, a lot of players in the West. I know
it's like
the time
free
zone
research, right?
Yeah, I mean, I know that the time zones are not the best for everybody, but he uploads them later on YouTube anyway.
Right.
He uploaded the Battle for the Strongest Region, which was the strongest regions from Japan playing against each other. Go check that out, because I'm sure everybody in this chat room has watched WNF and NLBC and seen all these majors and stuff.
Right.
Go watch the Japanese talent, so that way when 5 of them are in top 8 this weekend, you know what's good.
All right. And anything you want to
plug? Watch Ultra Chen TV every Tuesday. They're fantastic. Follow me on Twitter, I guess, at Sajam. And after EVO's over, I'll be doing match analysis for like every game that I sort of understand. So
Nice.
Check out my Twitch. Yeah.
Twitch.tv/Sajam?
Yeah.
Excellent.
And then you
All right, you guys
upload
have a
them
good-
all to YouTube where?
Superman Sajam on YouTube. I don't upload a damn thing. My lovely video editor does it all.
That's true.
He is a
And
hero.
that's right.
He's,
Nice work.
You have merch being sold at the Tenno booth over at EVO.
I am. Yes, I'm sent. I'm dropping merch at EVO this year. I have a new design. There's a couple of designs. Like I had another design that was really great that didn't make it. I'm really sad about it. But I'm going to be trying to put out more merch. And that art style is fantastic. Actually, it was drawn by Toph's girlfriend, who's incredible.
Oh, cool. Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah, she did a fantastic job. And if you guys want the merch, I'll be at the booth this weekend. Come say hi. I have like 43 hours of commentary, so that's probably the only time you'll see me.
All right, man. Appreciate it. Thanks a lot. Have fun.
You guys have a good one. I won't see you at EVO, David.
No, you won't.
But I'll see you, James.
But I'll see you.
I'm the only
on the
one who
internet.
did it. I'm the only one who remembered.
Yeah, I know.
All right, buddy. Thank you.
All right.
See you guys.
Okay.
All right. Well, appreciate him coming on to talk about Dragon Ball. We're going to circle back around and talk about one of the side games at EVO 2018. That is Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. And to do that, we have brought on Persia. Are you available?
I am totally here. I'm so sorry.
Oh, no. Hey, totally fine. We
I'm
really
such
appreciate
a
it.
typical Marvel player, late to everything.
But that said, I mean, I know it's 1 o'clock in the morning for you, so I really appreciate it.
No, actually, what Persia's doing is she's actually just flipping us off right now. So
this is so cool. By the way, this short was so sick.
Yeah, I know.
I really, really love the way it came out.
It's
and
so cool.
Super shout outs to everybody involved with making that video because I felt like it embodied that memory so perfectly that even a lot of people who were like right alongside me for that entire trip definitely were like, dude, it was exactly like that and it's hilarious.
That's awesome.
That's super cool. Well, let's talk about Marvel Infinite at EVO. So it's a side event. It is capped at 128 entrants.
Yes.
Let's talk about storylines.
There's so many storylines going into this.
Oh my goodness. It is crazy right now. And honestly, for people not paying attention to Infinite right now, you guys are missing out because the evolution phase of this game has been something unlike I've seen in a long time. Just when I thought it couldn't get more cheap, it gets more cheap. And just when I thought there wasn't someone who was better than who I thought, 2 weeks or a month ago, there's someone better.
Right.
And that's why I'm so excited about EVO because, it's capped at 128, and I see a ton of familiar faces, but I see a lot of people I have never heard of before, and I'm curious about that too because... the online is much better. People are still able to gain that experience and gain that practice through online methods who might be sneaking in the shadows right now and might show up and tear everybody up. But the other thing about it is we were not expecting CJA to be at EVO, but now he is.
Right.
And, before this past weekend, I know no one thought anyone was better than Dual Kevin. Not even Dual Kevin thought anybody was better than Dual Kevin because he told me himself, this is going to be so free.
Oh, damn.
It's fine. I respect that, confidence because he's been wrecking everybody.
Right, he hasn't
every tournament
lost
he's
at
been
all.
in, he's been doing so much.
Well,
exactly.
so just to explain, you're talking about Cyber Japan agent. Some people in the chat are asking CJA. He's a player who some who have come out of the woodwork after he blew up Dual Kevin last night have been saying that he's the best for a little while, but not that many people. And he came
I can
from
only
Japan.
verify one person who was on CJA's side, but he was on CJA's side in secret because he's from the Midwest.
I know
He's
who
like,
you're...
if I say this in public, no one,
I know exactly who you're talking about.
Is it who I'm thinking?
And it's hilarious because
Yeah.
I told him the same thing. I was like, yeah, dude, I don't know because I watched a lot of CJA's footage on his YouTube. That guy plays this game.
He plays
knows
it crazy
so many things. He has so much situational awareness that the only other person I even have seen to have that much and match him on that level is Dual Kevin, which is why I figured, okay, it might be a good fight. But I feel like the advantage for CJA during that was the fact that he does have some Hawkeye experience against like Chauncey in Japan and stuff like that. So he has played sets against Hawkeye. It may not be on the same level as Dual Kevin's Hawkeye, but any experience is good experience.
Right.
And for how much he plays, that experience pays off a lot, which is why you saw that a lot in their first to 15.
So they played last night at Pasadena Regionals in a first to 15. CJA destroyed Dual Kevin. It was 15-4. Kevin couldn't enter the tournament itself. His flight had an error or whatever, so he couldn't. So CJA took the tournament, beating, I think, Stealth in Grand Finals, if I recall correctly. And then, he lit into Dual Kevin.
Did you watch it?
Hardcore. Yeah, I was watching the whole thing. It was a blow-up, dude. It was a blow-up.
It was insane. And it was just crazy. And for CJA, his other advantage is that he also plays Dante. So a lot of those Dante shenanigans were just not going to work.
Right.
And if, in all honesty, like we're being true here, yes, Dual Kevin might have a damage advantage because of Hawkeye and Poison Tip and stuff like that. But CJA has the mix-up advantage, and the synergy is just better between Dante and Dormammu, in my opinion.
I mean, some people were saying, I think I saw someone tweet about this, might have been Olaf Redland was tweeting about this, but like he didn't even use the little vines, he just used like the single hit meteor and like really made that look super powerful or something like that.
He uses Dormammu in such a way that it doesn't matter what the situation is. He always has the spell he wants at his access at every single time. Like he is.
He definitely has the best Dormammu, dude. It's crazy good.
Free.
Like it's not just the spells. It's I think you're right that the way he works with Dante, especially how he uses it, is super strong. And then I was just really impressed by little things like his dark hole footsies are amazing. He uses it at ranges and times that few other people do.
And
everything
he
is so
uses
good.
it in times when he knows it's going to trade, but he's going to get an advantage off of it anyways, which I thought was interesting too. Like being willing to take a hit sometimes for the greater good, like that takes another level of thinking, especially in a game like this.
Yeah.
And that's like another thing about Marvel in general. Like it has been evolving tournament to tournament to tournament, and it never got its opportunity to shine. And had it did, like people would actually see it for what it is. But they're seeing it now because this match between Dual Kevin and CJA, like that's the eye opener. Like high level Marvel Infinite, you have not lived until you've seen some high level Marvel Infinite, and we thought we've been seeing it until we watched that first of 15.
Well, the crazy thing to me too is that being capped at 128, I would imagine that means like the 128 players in there, that this is going to be just like the biggest bloodbath ever.
There's like no fluff in there for sure.
Exactly. Because that's why it's so interesting to me. Because I haven't seen the brackets yet, but I did look through the list of people. And I feel like I can name and remember at least 90% of the people who've entered, because that is how serious it is for the people who are still playing it. And there are so many people in this bracket this year that I can visually see in top 8, like so many people putting in that work. Stealth is putting in that work. Knives, Dual Kevin, of course. CJA, of course. I would not be surprised if I saw those two in grand finals, to be fair.
Yeah, and again,
they are really up there. But a lot of people are also catching up, and they're also showing different insights into this game. I feel like with each player, we see how they view the game and what they turn this engine and these mechanics into. Because that's what Marvel players do. Marvel Infinite looks like a mess day one, but now look at us. We're about to go into EVO, looking at high-level Marvel Infinite and actually appreciating it for what it is.
Well, talk a little bit about how the character variety, the stone variety has been shaping up.
Oh, I've actually been really satisfied with the variety in general. Like, shout out to even Iron God, who got third at Pasadena Regionals, and he plays Thor Rocket Raccoon, which is a team that I've been wanting to learn, team like Infinity Gauntlet. Like, they were holding it down, and I really wanted to play that team, and I noticed he's been playing that team, and he got third place, which is really cool. And we've just been seeing so many different people exploring so much, and that's been fun to watch. And all we have is time at this point. We're back to the same situation we were in with Marvel 3. All we got is each other right now. And so I do appreciate those character specialists out there. Even shout outs to people like Airborne with his Spidey Venom. Staying true to his team and really holding it down for just like character variety. So there are a lot of players I'm looking forward to.
Even the gem variety too, right? Because before it was always like, oh well, there's clearly like one, like space and soul, and that's it. But like now people are starting to use time a little more, and reality is a little bit back in the mix and such.
Yeah, at Pasadena Regionals, top 8 had space for sure. But there was also time. There was, soul, obviously, time. Reality was in there. I don't know if there was a power, but power is pretty commonly used nowadays, too.
What about mind? Anybody?
I feel like mind is the least used, for sure. I feel like the last person I remember even using mind was Mega Man Steve, and he's moved on to bigger and better things, of course.
Poor mind. But, at this point in time, though, obviously the tournament was capped at 128, and there was more people who wanted to go in there and everything like that. But what do you feel about like the Marvel community at this point? I saw some people, like from Visant's tweet, I saw some people were like, yeah, I just picked up the game recently, and I want to learn it and everything like that. Do you feel like the Marvel community can, keep the game alive and keep the hype alive?
Honestly, if you really think about it, the game hasn't even been out a year. And with that said, it's like even Marvel 3 got a quote-unquote upgrade within a year also. And I feel like after that is when Marvel 3 really started to pick up. So we're getting over that hump right now, in my opinion, with Marvel Infinite, and it's only getting better and better and better, and the proof of that is in the results. It's in each top 8 at each major event. nothing's changed on our end. Like, our players and our community, they're still supporting and showing up, and they're still giving us great shows. Honestly, Combo Breaker 2018, that was one of, like, the most hype top 8s, like, I've seen, and, like, I could feel that shit in my soul. I was like, oh my god, like, Marvel, this is real. And sorry, so yeah, we're good, but like, just Marvel, just like, it really brings it out of you. And like, even watching Pasadena regionals this past weekend, it grows and grows and grows. So I'm like, man, it's really good. It's really good, and it's growing. And like, if we had, I'm sorry if I'm just sitting on my soapbox, but if we had a fair trial, I don't know how to define it. If we had a fair trial, I mean, like, we'd be up there.
Yeah.
Well, nothing.
But some things are out of our hands.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
That's
that
it.
conversation
That's
has happened. So.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, you talked a little bit about who to expect to do well. Dual Kevin, CJ probably is. That sounded like your pick for the top 2. But other than that, who are players in particular who we should watch out for?
I mean, one player that I want to ask about in particular is, where do you think Chris G is going to fit in this whole thing?
Chris G's always a threat. You can never, ever, like, sleep on Chris G. Like, if you are, then that's your own fault. Like, he is good. It doesn't matter if he's not even investing that much time into the game. He might be sloppy, but he's still going to be good.
Right.
So, you know, that'll definitely get him through pools and into a position where we'll see him, like, somewhere near the finals in top 8. But I wouldn't be surprised if we wouldn't see him there, because the game is getting cheap.
Right.
It's getting cheaper and cheaper by the day, and we see it in every top 8. So, you know, other people to expect and to look out for. Wave, you know, she puts in so much work.
Right.
She has been showing up. She got top 8 at Defend the North.
Yeah.
And she loves this community, and she loves this game, and she learns and she practices. You know, so that's definitely someone to look out for. Ketsui has so much Morgan tech, and I have not seen any other Morgan kind of on that level. You know, like, he is really exploring this character and finding more and more stuff.
Wasn't he the one who put up that video where he was just doing like 3 cross-ups and then like back and forth with the air dashes and stuff?
Yes, he puts tech videos up for Morgan all the time, and combo videos up all the time. And he always has something new. And seeing him, he still needs to get a little bit over his tournament jitters, but once he does, like, he's definitely going to be someone to look out for. And of course, you can't forget, like, our hitbox guys. We got Clockwork, always a threat. Punisher, so OD. Like, his Rock Raccoon is insane. Like, you really cannot ever underestimate anyone when it comes down to it, right? We have, like, Noel Be Hungry. Ninja Nom, also putting in a lot of work, too. Dr. Strange Nova, one of the few players with Time Stone.
Yep, he was just in top 8.
And really makes it count. Like, it's always really fun to watch him play, because he is getting better, like, the more and more that we see from him. And he's traveling, so that's fun, too. Like, we didn't see as much traveling from him back in Marvel 3, although he was a Doctor Strange player back in Marvel 3, too, playing Team Nemo. But he's still holding it down, especially for Arizona. So, and he's stepping it up, being pretty consistent, too, at a lot of these tournaments. So, also another big person to watch. And yeah, you know, just like a lot of people. And of course, people, you know, have their eyes on their favorites. Haven't seen too much of Cloud, but, you know, Cloud's always a threat no matter what.
But he's been playing a lot of Dragon Ball as well. So,
yeah, that's the other thing, too. Like, we get, like, certain players, like, split attention span.
do you know if Justin entered MVCI?
I don't think so.
I doubt it.
Yeah,
He hasn't been
at
playing.
all.
Okay. Yeah.
But I know he did totally support the Teespring or Match Arena. There was a community drive we did. Irene provided a lot of the artwork, and
for sure.
it got a lot of great feedback. So that's also going towards the side tournament, which is great. And you know, the list goes on. Bane Hollow, To Kill Sage, even Abic, you know, legendary timeline. You want to talk about legendary stories? Talk about coming from nothing and then literally going on really into the future to just catch all that sweet justice. So, Abic, I give tons of respect to Abic for all that. You know, Emorar, he's a threat too. Online Warrior, first ever offline tournament was Combo Breaker. and he put in a lot of work.
Yeah, so I just feel like one of the coolest things about this game is that, you know, we all said it when the game came out. We were excited about the creativity and, you know, the open-endedness, and the game feels like it just keeps evolving. It just doesn't feel like it keeps stopping. You know, doesn't stop at all. So, you know, I've always been a fan of this game. I really enjoyed this game, so I'm happy to see this kind of excitement and hype going into EVO.
So, I guess we got to move on, but is there anything else that you want to say that we didn't get to before we do?
Just, you know, check out Marvel Top 4 is going to be streamed on Friday, I believe.
Okay.
I think it's a Twitch/Evo 7.
Okay.
It's one of those, but just stay tuned. We're going to be tweeting about it, of course.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
It's going to be really fun to watch. I'm going to try to record as much as I can off it, like off my phone or something when I have time. But definitely look out for that. And there's also going to be a Salty Suite on Saturday night, which is going to be a huge effort. And thanks to Anime Lover, Knives, and Mega Man DS. So that's going to be great. Just make sure you guys are keeping an eye out. And Marvel Lives every first and third Tuesday. We've switched from Marvel Live to Marvel Lives because life. And we always talk about Marvel. So if you guys want to hear more about Marvel and all the happenings going on, make sure you check us out on SoundCloud and YouTube.
Cool.
Someone in the chat did bring this up, though. Is there going to be any sort of Combo Queens event going on at EVO?
Yes. There will be a Combo Queens event, and there will be Combo Queens merch thanks to 10-0.
That's right.
So that is
Very
amazing. Cool. Check out their booth. It is going to be exclusively sold at their booth at EVO. So make sure you get your hands on that because those designs are pretty dope, and I can't wait to wear it. So
cool. All right. Hey, thanks a lot for joining us. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank
Especially
you.
late at night.
Yeah, I know. It's already
later.
like 1:30 over there for you, so shout outs to you. Thank you.
See you soon,
have a good
James,
weekend.
And see you when I see you, David.
Yep, I'll see you eventually. For sure.
All right. All right.
All right, later on. That's a cool picture. Somebody else was wondering where that came from. That was from an animated short that was done by
Red Bull.
Yeah, okay. And it was just kind of recounts Persia's memory of
one particular event.
Tournament that was terrible on the way there, but that she had a blast at while she was there. And it was all told in that kind of art style. I loved it. I thought it was
so
really,
good.
really well
It was
done.
so good.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah, I love it. I loved it.
Highly recommended for viewing experience. So thanks to all the guests. So that was super cool to hear from everybody.
Yeah. We actually made pretty decent time.
We actually made decent time.
We made decent time. Yeah, we're only like maybe.
We're 8 minutes slow.
Yeah,
Amazing. I can't believe it.
It's unbelievable.
That's like way better than we've done in the past.
Yeah.
Good job, everybody. Now, again, we really appreciate it. Happy to help everybody plug whatever we can. Glad everybody got a little plug in when they were on the mic. We're going to talk about Street Fighter.
Yeah, that's right. So Street Fighter 5 closing out Sunday again for the third year in a row, basically, for Street Fighter 5. And this is an interesting one right now because, you know, storylines going into this game is it's last year, if you remember, going into EVO was like, this is America's year.
I know.
It's time for America.
It was that year or nothing is what I felt at the time.
And this year,
it was nothing.
Like, this year it's like the polar opposite. For me, I feel like the big story going into this really is that, you know, I think on top of the world in Street Fighter V right now is Tokido, Fujimura, and Daigo.
It seems accurate.
Yeah, so I feel like it's about Japan again. You know, like, and not only that, like, so I feel like the domination of Japan, and then obviously the other thing is the domination of, you know, 4 in particular characters.
Okay.
Cammy, Akuma, Guile, and Ibuki. It feels like
I think I would put Rashid up in terms of.
Oh yeah, okay.
I feel like he comes up often enough that I would put him in there too.
Okay.
Other than those 5, when you see a character, it's not an oddity, but it's somewhere between the regular and the oddity. You know, like there's the last weekend randomly. Well, the weekend before this most previous one, there were 3 tournaments that had Laura in top 8, but. That almost never happens.
Right.
I mean, there's usually some other character. It's not exclusively just those 4 or 5. But it's like, for sure those 4 or 5 are there, and then maybe there's another one that squeaks in.
Right. I mean, that can be true. I mean, see in the chat that it's not even necessarily Ibuki, that it could be Yukadon as well. But I don't even agree with that. Yeah, Xian did super well, and there was the tournament that we just had at the army base, right? The 2 of the top 3 positions were Ibuki players, so you know. Ibuki's a good character, dude.
She is definitely a good character.
You cannot knock that character at all.
Yeah, I think that character variety is something to keep an eye on. It's not. So in my view, the game is a little bit less balanced than it was before the 3.5 patch. But as we've said on the show before, we think that maybe the bigger reason that it seems like there's just a few characters that keep showing up is that people want to win the big money. And so they're going to the characters that can do that. And on top of that, there are some characters that have very similar archetypes to other characters in the cast, and there's one that is clearly the better of them. So like Cammy is the better
Karen, Sakura, you know, whatever,
etc. Right?
Abigail is the better Zangief.
Exactly. Minot is the better Dalsum.
Right.
Like, it kind of has boiled itself down in that way. So it's not a surprise, I think, to see the results that we're seeing. But even that said, you know, it's not just Fujimura, aka previously Yukadon, doing well with the Ibuki Xian as well. But it is the case that I feel like there's been a sort of settling of the best players, I should say, in the world. So, you know, if you look at the Capcom Pro Tour standings, Fujimura, Infiltration, Tokido, NL, Daigo. You know, it's
those
hard.
Names,
it's really those guys are 500 points above where the 6th place person is, which is Knuckle
so
there's a big separation between them.
But speaking of Knuckle Dew, so he had been my wallet Knuckle Dew for a while, and you know, after throwing all that money away at CEO for his intro, he was like, I guess I really need to get sponsored again.
Yeah.
But he just got picked up by Ghost, and they said the first tournament that he came back in Defend the North, right? He won that one, didn't he? He won Defend the North, I think it was. But you know, they said that he looked strong, like more like the Knuckle Dew that won Capcom Cup.
He did.
And so I think he's probably the top U.S. player to look out for right now. He probably still has that opportunity to come in there.
That makes sense to me. So. But one other thing that I think has been very cool this season in Street Fighter V is how well Justin Wong has done.
Yeah.
He's playing a character in Minot who fits his style super, super well. One of the cool things about her is that she fits multiple styles.
Yes.
But she does fit his classically lame style.
I can't even, I played Minot, and there's no way in my mind that you could win with Minot by never throwing an orb.
Yeah.
But that's what Justin does.
He
just annoys people to death, and it's ridiculous. So I'm excited to see how Justin does, and honestly, if he actually, part of me thinks that he should just do V-Trigger 2, because his V-Trigger 1 is just not so strong, you know what I mean? But
he, you know, at least you get one mix-up out of it. He can do the basic combo. I feel like it's the better V-Trigger even still.
Yeah, it's probably true. But you know, if Justin has been doing nothing but practicing V-Trigger 1 stuff up to Evo, and he could start pulling off even Infiltration. Like, I don't expect him to do Sako level. Infiltration can't even do Sako level stuff. But if he can get to Infiltration level orb consistency, then Justin has a potential to make top 8 at this tournament for sure.
Yeah. But I think that for me, the biggest storylines are that there are these players who I feel like have kind of run away with Street Fighter V this season. You know, each season there have been, at least in the beginning half of the season, that's happened. The first season it was Tokido and Infiltration doing it. That didn't last. Right. In the second half of the year, things changed. That might be the case this year as well. I don't know, but certainly in the first half of the year, it's been a lot of control by those guys, and it's been cool to see that. You know, 2 of them, Tokido and Daigo, are players who have been around forever. Yeah. NL, much more recent. Infiltration has been at the top of his game since 2011 or so, the whole decade basically. And for Yukadon, you know, thinking about it, for sure, for Yukadon, now Fujimura, if you think about it, maybe the most, or certainly top 3 most consistent players in Street Fighter V throughout the length of it. He's gotten top 8 at EVO each year so far. Anything else to say in terms of big storylines coming into this?
I mean, again, it's the characters kind of thing is something to talk about a lot. You know, obviously Cammy is like one of the big things right now. Everyone's talking about just the Cammy army. Haitani had to face 6 Cammys to get into top 8, and he lost like at the very end, like in top 8. I mean, my question is, how many Cammys do you think are going to make top 8 at EVO this year?
You know, I would say 2 at the most.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not... I don't think it's going to be more than that.
I think it's going to probably be 1.
Okay.
I mean, the funny thing
I can see that, yeah.
Because the thing about it is, honestly, this is not just a Street Fighter thing. This is through all the games that we've been talking to. We've been talking to all these people, and we've been asking these questions over and over and over again. I'll tell you one thing. EVO has never been the game that has... never been the event where the results have ended up what you expect it to be.
That's very true.
It's always been crazy. So the thing is, I say Cammy... there's only going to be 1 because I would expect more. You know what I mean? But that's because I expect more. I don't think it's going to happen because I expect like a lot of the other people on the show who you know, giving us their opinions. Like, you know, I feel like it's going to go not the logical way that we think. You know, because it's just I just feel like that's how it always works out at EVO, and there's going to be. I'm telling you right now, top 8's going to have a Blanca or Sakura player or something crazy like that. Right?
I don't think that's impossible,
or
by the way.
Cody, by the way.
Yeah,
Cody, I think Momochi could definitely make it.
I think Cody is legit. All right?
Oh, yeah,
I think Cody is a
yeah.
strong character. I'm not going to put him top tier, but I think he's a strong character. And I know Momochi has been playing him a lot. That'd be great to see from him more. We have seen him appear in tournament with that, but it's a little bit more practice now. Hopefully he feels comfortable for it.
Yeah,
for EVO.
I would actually predict that there's a higher chance of having more Manats in top 8 than Cammys in top 8.
Very, very possible.
Yeah,
very possible.
Just because it's Sako, Infiltration, and Justin, you know, it's like the people playing them are just ridiculous. So
yeah. Cody is more legit than Q, but that's not difficult to be clear.
X more legit Q,
yes,
right?
as a blanket statement, more or less.
Yeah,
for sure. Okay, well, other than storylines, let's talk about players. Who do you expect to win Street Fighter V at EVO? What's your prediction?
It's funny. Someone asked me this question this weekend, and you know, it's again, I have to do the logical thing. You have to say the logical thing, kind of like Toph was like, well, I just got to go with Hungrybox right now.
Enough.
I have to go with Tokido right now, just because he's just been looking so strong. He's actually seems to have Daigo's number, you know, and Daigo has been beating Fujimura most of the time.
Right.
So if I expect those guys to get in the top 4 or top 8, the way that they pair up with each other, I feel like, you know, Daigo could eliminate Fujimura, you know, and then Tokido would end up beating Daigo.
Let's just the brackets, they wouldn't play until top 8 winners.
Right.
Fujimura versus Daigo. But there's a real chance that could be top 8 winners.
Like Tokido is seeded number 1, right?
I'm sorry, did you say Tokido, or I thought you said Fujimura or Daigo?
Oh, I was talking about all of them. I was talking about all of them.
Tokido is seeded high for sure. Yeah, no doubt.
Okay. Yeah. But again, like I just feel like Tokido is the safe bet right now. Now, would I pick Tokido or the field? I would bet on the field
100%.
over Tokido, right?
100%. But, yeah, I don't believe in any one player enough to bet on them over the field in Street Fighter V. Definitely not.
Well, what about you? Who do you think is going to win?
You know, I think I'm going to do the same thing and just go with Fujimura, who I think has been the best player in the world for a little while now.
Yeah, okay.
Even though he hasn't won every time. I mean, he got second place to Daigo. Daigo's been playing amazingly well. He got top 8 at E-League again. He won a couple of majors himself. I feel like he's the best going into this thing, but looking at the bracket, some of the interesting things in terms of how it could turn out is that Fujimura has to play against Cien, you know, if they win through. To get into top 8, which I think is fascinating, it's the 2 Ibukis really who are at that level to play against each other. But to get there in the first place, Fujimura has to beat Shax, Problem X, some other players too.
Dang, Problem X.
And so I feel like there's a real chance that he doesn't make top 8. I like I said, I would pick him to win EVO, but I think that there's a real good chance that he doesn't even make top 8.
Right. Okay. Well, let me ask you this question then. Capcom Cup champion Mana RD said he's going to win EVO. He also said he was going to win Capcom Cup, and he did.
Well, that's true.
So he said he's going to win EVO. Where do you think Mana RD stands in this right now?
I think Mena's actually in an okay spot. He just again looking at the brackets would play against Oil King later in the rounds. He might play against Daigo. He might play against NL if things work out for him. I think those are matches that he can handle. He has handled in the past some of those players, but since Mena won Capcom Cup, I feel like, for example, Oil King, Daigo, NL, they have been stepping it up. Right? They're better even than they already were, and they were already super strong. So I feel like it's a tall order. My dark horse pick.
Yeah, I was about to ask, who's your dark horse?
My dark horse pick is Kaba.
Kaba. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was looking through the brackets, and I feel like he's got like a pretty reasonable chance to get deep. You know who he's got to beat to get there? Is Tokido.
Oh, really?
And I like him in that matchup.
Oh, yeah?
Yes!
Okay,
yes, that's
okay.
my pick. That's my weird underdog. It's not even that weird.
Yeah,
but that is my underdog pick.
I mean, my weird underdog pick, I think someone who could come out and surprise everybody all of a sudden is Phenom. Phenom has been playing really, really well. He just won the European Online tournament. He got top 3 at CEO, which is a really stacked tournament as well. He's obviously always been good enough to do this, but he kind of disappeared for a little bit. But I feel like he's right in there. And it's either going to be him or Problem X has got to make top 8. Like, I just don't feel like you can get to top 8 here at EVO without one EU player.
Well, he's got to go through, among other players, Momochi, Justin Wong, Infiltration, checking earlier in the brackets.
Okay, so he's got a bracket.
Everybody's like that. It's not unique to him by any stretch. But Phenom beating Jiwa is what he would have to do. In pools even before that, he's got to beat strong players. So, but that's not to say that he can't do that. It's just that most runs are like that. There's no easy path.
Some people are talking about Xiaohai.
Okay.
I see someone talking about Xiaohai. That guy obviously came out of nowhere looking like a different man.
He looked really good. Yeah, okay, physically, fair enough.
Right, and did really well at CEO as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
His path might include Fudo, Infiltration, Justin, depending on how things work out.
I mean, I don't even think that's even true, Love Thy Sideblade. I think Jay Wong has been doing super well at all the tournaments right now. He just got top 4 at VS Fighting, so I mean that was
I think he's been doing really well.
Super stacked tournament. So
yeah, I mean I think Justin has a pretty good chance to make top 8 as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, those are my picks. It's funny. I feel like for Fujimura, that my 2 picks are either he wins EVO or he doesn't make top 8. Like
but I mean that makes total sense.
I really think that could be.
That's the way it works. I mean that the year that Infiltration from Tokido was winning everything, guess what? Infiltration won and Tokido didn't make top 8.
That's right.
Right? So those same 2 guys, right? So they did exactly that path right there.
And last year we were coming into it so sure that Punk, well I was at least pretty sure he would win EVO. He got second place, not that far off, but still, it's very difficult to predict what's going to happen.
Yeah, but I mean,
2,500 people entering the tournament.
I haven't seen Tokido lose to like some crazy random thing. You know what I mean? Like I haven't seen that, and I feel like he's so well prepared that I can't see Tokido not making top 8 again. Okay. Despite 2,500 people, he's too solid right now. Even sometimes Daigo will have a close match against some like random person and it looks a little bit like, oh, okay. But like Tokido, I just don't see it. Like whenever he does lose, it's to someone else who's like super good. So I don't know. I just feel like Tokido is probably the best chance right now. But, outside of Japan, NL is a name to talk about. Obviously, they're doing super well. NuckleDu, I think, is
NL and Infiltration are 2 of the. We mentioned 5 players at the start of this, and they're 2 of those 5.
NL Infiltration from Korea. Justin and NuckleDu from US, and Phenom and Problem X from Europe are probably my outside of Japan picks right now.
All right,
so
I'm going to stick with the Dominican Republic on that.
The Cabo one, okay.
Yeah, man. Again, 2,500 entrants. It's not the most entered game. Dragon Ball is by a little bit.
By 80-something.
Yeah, by not that many considering the percentages. We talked last week about our thoughts about it still being the final game over Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
I think we were both cool with it. But yeah, you can go back to the previous week and we'll have talked about that there.
Yeah, again, Street Fighter, the last 2 years, the top 8 has been ridiculously exciting. The Tokido Punk matchup, Punk botting everyone, and then Tokido coming out of loser's bracket, the one guy he didn't want. Year before that was the L.I. Joe run and everything like that. So I think it makes sense to put Street Fighter V.
It's cool. It's cool with me. Anything else to talk about when it comes to Street Fighter V?
I saw somebody else mention some names here.
We are almost exactly on time right now.
Yeah, I know,
Incredible.
right? It's actually kind of scary. So, Smug. What do you think about Smug after that E-League run?
Yeah, Smug is so strong. Certainly, I wouldn't be surprised if he made top 8. I think I would be very surprised if he won Evo.
What about Grandmaster Chun-Li Broly legs?
I think Broly's got a good chance to make it deep. I mean, no doubt. Broly, as I've said to him in the past, is a big inspiration for me. So I wouldn't be surprised. I think it'd be great.
Yeah, but again, I mean, anything else you want to say about Street Fighter V? That is
Let's
a no.
go Itazan.
Okay.
All right.
So, I mean, again, for those just who tuned in a little bit later and everything like that, we've been talking about Evo all day.
Yeah.
And Evo is just the most ridiculous tournament. You definitely want to check that out. It's going to be on like 7 different streams.
Yeah. Again, if you just follow @Evo on Twitter or go to shoryuken.com and you can find all the info. But the streams are twitch.tv/Evo. Twitch.tv/Evo1, Evo 2, Evo 3, Evo 4, Evo 5, Evo 6, Evo 7, and then the Street Fighter will be on Capcom Fighters. But Finals Day, Sunday, is all on Twitch.tv/Evo.
Right, okay.
But you can find the full schedule at Twitter.com/Evo. Ace King Offsuit, as you plugged before, does a really good job at encapsulating schedules and making it intelligible so you know exactly when things will happen in your local time. Those are a couple of pretty good resources to check out. I also want to plug again Twitter.com/SRK ranking, where they have done some really good work analyzing pools. So you can go through, they have a link there where they analyze Tekken, Dragon Ball, Street Fighter, Injustice, and Guilty Gear pools by looking at which pools have the most strong players in them. Sort of they ranked each pool by its strength. And on top of that, they did a bunch of interesting work analyzing the entrants and how they overlap with different games.
Also, shout outs to the Anime Evo with 27 side games in there. So everything from Sailor Moon on the Super Nintendo. Arxis Works' first fighting game, by the way.
Is that so?
Yeah, it's their first fighting game ever. So
I did not know.
Yeah, that they have Gundam. They're gonna have Puyo Puyo Tetris there. They have Under Night and Birth, as we talked about, Melty Blood, all sorts of stuff there. Windjammers is going to be there. I have one more question, on the spot kind of question for both of us at this point in time. What do you think is going to get revealed?
Okay.
What's your reveal prediction?
I predict G for Street Fighter V. That seems like a pretty safe pick. I don't know otherwise.
Do you think MK11?
I don't.
You don't.
I don't think this is the time to do it. Okay. I think maybe if Injustice had been in the arena, on Sunday, a lot of people are watching, then maybe. But I think much more likely is that it will just be later on. Whether it's Mortal Kombat or DC plus MK, whatever it is. Like whatever the next project is, I don't know. I don't expect it to come this weekend.
Like I said, I am putting myself on the spot, and I'm going to make myself super sad.
Okay.
But after Abigail last year, Capcom knows that it didn't go so well with reveals, so I'm going to say G and Sagat are going to be revealed this weekend, and I'm totally disappointing myself because it's not going to happen.
It's probably not going to happen. I would not expect it.
New characters for Soul Calibur?
I was just going to say Astaroth, my boy, is being announced.
SNK Fighters Heroine, KOF 15 maybe?
That would be amazing.
Right.
I don't know when they would sneak that in.
Right. What about Guilty Gear? Because Guilty Gear's on Sunday, and a lot of people got suspicious, right? Do you think that they might be like, finally here's Zappa. Finally here's Robo-Kai.
Oh.
Because both of those characters are in the story mode.
Okay.
You know, they've existed in there, and it felt like that there was like a lead into that.
So you think because Guilty Gear's there, even though BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle has 500 more entrants or whatever, it's like quite a few more. And you expect a reveal as the reason why. That would make sense, I guess.
That'd be kind of cool. Also,
that'd be great.
Also BB Tag. All the rumored leaked data mined characters, right? Yeah.
For sure.
So we'll probably get a trailer for maybe the next pack or something like that.
Makes sense.
You know, or something like that. So what about Dragon Ball FighterZ? You think they're going to reveal anything new?
Yeah, I think I would guess that they will. I don't know enough about Dragon Ball to say what they're going to do.
Right, because remember, there's a patch coming out in August. Do you think they might actually be like, here's some of the cool new features that are coming out?
Oh, actually, like game changes?
Yeah.
I feel like that's too much in the weeds.
Okay.
I wouldn't expect that. They've already announced that it's going to be Goku and Vegeta.
Right, yeah.
As characters.
Right, but I'm just wondering, would they be like, here's some preview
you get push block!
Here's the
I don't
preview.
think so.
Okay.
Yeah. That seems like it's too much.
Oh man.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if the balance patch had that kind of stuff in it.
Any new fighting games? Do you feel like we're gonna get any brand new fighting games?
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I don't think that's going to be announced. Oh, do you look like you have info?
No,
right there.
I don't know if I have info, but it's just every time I feel like we're finally not gonna have any more new fighting games, we get new fighting games.
Well, I think there will be new fighting games. It's not like it's over, but I just... What company would come out with that right now? Capcom's not going to have Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite 2.
Right.
That would be great, but they're not going to do it.
There's no Uncanny Edition.
It's for sure not happening. They're not going to do Street Fighter 6.
There's no Darkstalkers, maybe?
Oh, boy,
Rival Schools?
No, I don't think Capcom's doing anything.
Okay.
Arxis has their hands super full. Mm-hmm. Same thing with Bandai. Like I said before, I don't think that NRS is going to announce their new game.
What about a Killer Instinct 2, a Virtua Fighter 6, all out of nowhere, all of a sudden?
Maybe VF.
Actually, you know what?
VF.
Maybe we'll get a trailer for the new DOA.
Okay,
that is definitely is very likely. That is very likely because they're having that exhibition. They're doing that kind of side tournament for DOA, so that's definitely a possibility. So.
I doubt Killer Instinct 2. I really doubt it.
Actually, you know what? DOA 6 has already been announced, right? They showed that with the close-up punching and all that stuff like that.
That sounds right, actually.
That's already been revealed, so...
Do you think there's going to be some new wild character in Tekken? Some new crazy guest character?
I don't know. I think at this point in time, after having added Geese and Noctis, that it would serve them well to put Lei in the game.
Oh, okay.
Or Anna. You know, just put the characters that everybody wants back in there. So, you know, I think that would be make people more excited than anything. So, yeah. Sonic Fighters 2, oh god.
Yeah, Lei would be pretty cool. He's a very unique character.
Yeah. Julia, JC.
But no, I don't expect any brand new fighting games announced.
Okay. Because, I mean, last year, BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle came out of left field.
Super left field. But just thinking about the developers and publishers that tend to make the big fighting games, I feel like they're busy. Like Nintendo, new thing already announced. Capcom, they're not doing it. Arxis, very busy. Bandai Namco, very busy anyway. I feel like the best chance is NRS, and I just don't expect it.
You just don't expect the Mortal Kombat?
I just don't think it's the right time. Okay. I just feel like it'd be weird at 12 noon in the big hall. They were like, guess what, everybody?
I mean, look, last year before Dragon Ball FighterZ came out, you know, Dragon Ball FighterZ people came out and did an announcement in the middle of Top 8, right? I guess it might have been after Tekken. I can't remember. It was definitely after Tekken, yeah. But still, they could just be like, all of a sudden Ed Boon walks up and be like, hey, guys.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
That would be great. I just don't think it's going to happen.
Oh, man. Okay.
Yeah, KOF 15 is plausible. I feel like that's the most plausible.
Yeah, because
they've kind of hinted at it.
Right, the creator already hinted at it, although they did just release some new KOF 14 stuff. But that can go either way. That means they're working on it and can't work on 15, or that means they're trying to keep the hype a little bit. So there you go.
Yeah, well, It'll be a good one, I'm sure. It's going to be a unique experience for me to be watching on the internet.
God. I'm just telling you right now.
I'll be at this wedding.
You're going to be at...
The wedding is at 6 p.m. Eastern. Okay. Injustice is at noon, so it's at 3 p.m. Eastern. And then Cross Tag Battle is at, I think, 4? No, maybe it's 3 Pacific time, and then so 6-ish Eastern. I'm going to be at this wedding just constantly stealing little looks into my phone.
Dude.
Like, in the crowd, you know, just hoping that anything sick happens to coincide with, you may kiss the bride. And I'm like, yeah!
That's what's going to happen is you're going to be sitting there on your phone, and then after Injustice ends, Ed Boon's going to come out. We're going to have an announcement. You're like, oh, sick! And then you're like,
I just have to get up and go to the bathroom. I
I know.
To get out of there. if I saw Ed Boon walk onto the stage right there, for sure, I'm just... Sorry, everybody. I'll be back in 5 minutes. I have to leave.
Like, will anyone right now speak or forever hold your peace? I gotta use the bathroom. I'll be right back, guys.
Yeah.
Oh man, dude, it's gonna be crazy. Oh man, it's gonna be fun. But at least you get a pie buffet, though.
There will be a pie buffet.
Yeah.
Although you've eaten
every one of those pies already.
I've already tried the pies. They've been good.
Oh,
no, it'll be a fun weekend for sure.
Yeah,
just a different experience for me. So I'll get to, I wish I were there for sure, but I at the same time I'm excited to see how it is for everybody who doesn't get to go in person. That's just not a side of the FGC that I see as often anymore. I mean, I watch streams from home. I watch tournaments when I don't go.
Right.
But to not go to Evo is a different story. So it's going to be. Hopefully, I hope that there will be some insights that I can glean from it. We'll see though.
Yeah, someone they're like, someone reads their vows and then they announce Q for Street Fighter V and his legs are backwards and they read the vows. And you're like, oh come on.
Oh God, I couldn't handle it. Please don't be in the game.
Well, he can't be in the game if G is supposed to be Q, right?
I hope so much that G preempts Q.
Right.
Please have capture and deadly blow
G
and dash
then
punch
just close the loop and it becomes Q, right? So there you go. So.
What do you mean WTF? I've expressed this on many occasions. I don't want backwards knees Q. Come on. To be fair, I think that they did Urian really well, but so it's not. They're not all Alex.
Yeah.
Alex ended up unfortunate, but Urian looks sick, so it's not a death sentence. It's just that in Season 3 in particular, they're not backwards legged, but they're
weird floating animations. Yeah, for sure. It's funny, too, because they really did, I think they looked at Season 2 and everybody loved Zeku and Minot so much. They're like, oh, they love these post animations.
Right.
And it's funny, it's like Sakura, if you see her post animations, they look good.
They do
but
look
it's
good.
all the punches and the throws that are wonky looking, you know what I mean? And Cody stand light kick kind of thing.
Light kick, yeah.
So.
Real weird. Can you imagine deadly double combination for Q and it's just like...
Yeah, I know, right? It's just not going to have that same thing. It's going to be like Falk's critical art where she just kind of goes...
She just jumps up.
Yeah. Let me return to my home planet.
Yeah.
Dude. Oh, man.
Well, I think in conclusion, I do expect new characters to be announced. I don't expect any brand new fighting games.
Okay. Well, also, just as a word to everybody, the reason why we did the show today as opposed to tomorrow is because you will be beginning your travels tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm out of here tomorrow night.
There is no Tuesday show tomorrow. This is the Tuesday show for the week. So thanks, guys, everybody, for, coming in and tuning in. Hope this was awesome and hope it sets up a lot of the good storylines going into EVO. Because that's always the key thing is knowing what the storyline's going in there, what to expect out of the games and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's too short a time frame to sort of explain what to look for in the games in terms of gameplay if you don't know them that well. So I think it's much more interesting, probably more useful to just talk about the players and the storylines and stuff like that. I feel like that gets you into it as the viewer more than just a brief crash course of the game mechanics.
And again, I'm going to be on the jump off for a lot of the
That's
weekend.
really cool, yeah.
I will be doing a couple of commentary games, but I will be doing the jump off. And like I said, I hope I can, bring that kind of appreciation to all the different fighting games, because I've enjoyed all of them. Like I don't think there's one game in this lineup that I'm like about, you know what I mean? Like I'm excited about every single one of them. And so, I hope I can convey that a lot during the jump off and really kind of emphasize what's cool to watch about the different games and everything like that. So, and Super Turbo, there's a Tournament of Legends qualifier at EVO, but I mean, there's just a ton of stuff. We could talk about stuff forever at this point in time.
For sure. And by the way, since there's no regular Tuesday show, we won't be talking this week about Pasadena Regionals and the other tournaments that happened this past weekend. There were some good events that we will talk about at some point, but I guess probably not next week.
Maybe we could talk about EVO and then
maybe
just
at the end of it,
and then quickly talk about all
But
these things,
in particular, I thought the Pasadena Regionals was super cool.
I'm sad I didn't get a chance to see
It's been a project that they've been working on the last few years. That they've stepped up their game plan in, and it was Marvel 3, Marvel Infinite, and Dragon Ball, and they were all really good. It was really cool.
Yeah, even
good to have a versus fighting.
Crazy army thing this past weekend as well, so that was kind of interesting.
We can chat about that next week. But yeah, that'll be our PrEvo show for EVO 2018. Starts on Friday, of course. Again, refer to all the things that I plugged earlier as far as how to follow stuff. It will, I'm sure, be an awesome weekend if you're going. Have a good time. There's a lot to do. It's not just the tournament itself. If you go 0-2, if you get busted or whatever, if it doesn't work out how you want, there's still a lot of stuff to do.
Yeah, and obviously it's probably too late to plan a trip out there, but if there's any chance that you have any, because I hear this a lot from people, I don't want to go to EVO because I'm not good enough to compete.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. Go enter something, go 0-2, who cares, enjoy the time there, or don't enter anything at all.
Yeah.
Go there. There's plenty of Artist Alley. You can buy a lot of swag there. Gaming Generation is going to be selling a bunch of cool stuff over there. Ken-O booth is going to have a bunch of cool stuff there. And you know what? You're going to be trapped in a room with 10,000 other people who love the same thing that you love. There's nothing wrong with that. And especially, too, when you go to an event, I know social media can feel toxic at times, and like Twitch chat can feel toxic at times, but when you go to an event itself, it's night and day.
For sure.
Everybody that I've talked to at an event, they're always like, oh my God, the FGC is just so cool, and everyone's so friendly and everything like that, for sure. Even the ladies who are running the Dippin' Dots cart at CEO, they were like, we've done so many of these, and this is like by far the friendliest group of people that we've had and stuff like that. So there you go. So,
all right, everybody. Thanks a lot for joining us, spending a few hours with us. Hopefully it was interesting to y'all. I enjoyed doing it.
Yeah,
thanks again to all of our guests for coming on as well. That was really
absolutely
nice.
Shout outs to all of them, especially for coming in, around their schedules like MajinObama and Persia had to do.
Much obliged.
Yeah, cool.
Alrighty, I guess that's going to be it for tonight.
Yep. And you know what?
Bird it out.
One for the road here. So let's do this.
Yes.
Let's go.
By the way, I tried looking for a watch party in New York, and so far no leads.
Really?
So I might just watch by myself on Sunday.
In the hotel.
That sounds it's fine. Yeah.
Okay. Convince our bar to put it up. On the...
Hey, bar, do it. Okay.